Welcome. Welcome.
And welcome to the show. I am your host, Joey Wobbs. And this is a transfer/review show from yesterday. We are going to be doing a lot more streams. A lot more streams are coming on this channel. We're going to be doing a lot more streams. Like, at least now we're going from one stream a week to at least 3, if not 4 or 5. So I want everybody to make sure that you guys hit the like button. You guys have subscribed. I know most of you guys probably that are in here already have subscribed. But please make sure that you guys join the channel. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel and make sure you guys are liking the channel because we are going to be doing more of these streams, especially midweek. I'm going to do at least one weekend stream, and I'm going to try to do at least 2 to 3 weekday streams. So obviously, you guys know I do late streams. You guys, if you guys are awake in the UK around 11 or 12, I'm normally up doing the stream around Tuesdays or Thursdays. Well, that's going to go from Tuesdays and Thursdays to Tuesdays, Thursdays, and maybe Fridays. So we're going to be doing more streams. We're going to be talking about a lot more football. We're going to talk about the transfer news. But first things first, let's talk about that game yesterday. Okay. So yesterday we had our game against Everton. Most people probably thought this was going to be a draw. And I also want to go to a little bit of clip of what Chelsea Fan TV was doing yesterday. And some of the clips that they pulled up, because that shit was crazy. That shit actually kind of had me pissed off. But first things first, big up everybody in the chat. Big up Kunle, big up Jardel, big up Josh, big up Ken Durance. My guys, I appreciate you guys coming through. There will be more people coming in. More people should be coming in within the hour while we're talking about all of this. Realistically, let's get into it though. Let's get into the conversation of the right here. Let's just have a quick conversation on the stats and how everything ended up kind of playing out. I think I might go to a different stat website just quickly, but this was a well-needed game from our football team. First off, Nani Madueke. Okay, Nani Madueke in this game, I thought it was probably Nani's best game that we've had from him so far. In my opinion, it was probably his best game. He was unlucky to not come away with a goal, in my opinion. Yesterday, he was honestly is probably one of Nani's best games. I don't know what do you guys think? Nani probably had one of his best games in this game, I would say. Unlucky to get subbed off, I would say. I think he was just fantastic all game. His work rate was really good. He was taking his man on. I don't think they were playing Patterson over there because they played Patterson over there and they didn't play Michael Keane They moved their normal right back to center back, which is O'Brien. And big up Ike and big up Stens. Thanks for guys coming in. Yeah, the fan that fucking said we were going to get a draw. We'll get into it here in a second. But yeah, like this was actually like one of our – honestly, we probably should have walked away with this game being 3. And, people thought Beto would give us some problems. And he didn't. Cole actually played really well. Overall, I thought he played pretty well. Caicedo was just an absolute monster in this game. Like, he was just an absolute monster. And everybody can see what the difference is when we have Romeo Lavia. When we have Romeo Lavia, boys and girls, I don't know if we have any girls in the chat, but when we have Romeo Lavia, we are a different squad. We press better. We control the games better. We probably we get on the break quicker. Lavia probably is our most important player. I would say he's our most important player in the sense of taking us to the next step of our quality, right? Like with the midfield of Enzo Caicedo, we're probably still lacking a little bit of physicality. We're probably still lacking just something, right? Just a bit of something, a little bit of guile, extra the passing, the line breaking passes, the capability of being able to spin his man and get on the break. I mean, Lavia is probably, in my opinion, the best midfielder in England on the half turn. Like if you give him the half turn, he's gonna spin you. Like it's just plain and simple. And he was fantastic through the game. Fantastic. Like and when I say fantastic, he probably wasn't even at his best. I'll probably say about 65%, 70% of Lavia we got in the Everton game, and I still thought he was awesome. Like you could still see the type of control and the type of stability, like Kunle saying here, the type of control and stability that this team needs comes from Lavia. Okay, like it is just plain and simple, in my opinion. Plain and simple. Okay. Now, another player that we have to give props to, okay? We have to give props to Robert Sanchez, okay? As most Chelsea fans probably would do, we would say he's our weak link overall, okay? Like the weakest link that we probably have is probably at the top of the pitch and at the bottom of the pitch, at striker and at goalkeeper. But Robert Sanchez made some really good saves in that game. Probably 2 saves that keep that game a win from going into a tie. Okay, he made 2 really good saves. But so did Pickford. Okay, so Pickford made probably 3 to 4 saves. So it was about an even match, I would say, between the 2 goalkeepers. Like the goalkeeper, like Pickford was pretty good too. Like he had a couple saves where I was like, yo, Nani normally slides those in the corner, bro. He got down quick to get to him. And same thing goes for Sanchez. Sanchez was fantastic. Like those saves were awesome. They're little, let's just say they were a little bit more camera saves, I would say. I would say they're probably a little bit more camera saves than anything. But they were still needed. They were still well needed. Also, if you guys haven't seen yet, the Manchester United game is in the Discord, the Lewis's Discord. So feel free to jump in there and make sure you guys catch the game, Catch the game. Okay. Let's go into I just want to go into a couple specific players' stats. It didn't feel like Jackson had a great game, though. Like, as much as he, won, this is not a great game, boys. Like, look at ground duels. Like, he was getting destroyed with his ground duels. Like, he was not doing well. And then successful dribbles. Like, he just wasn't playing that well. Like, I'm glad that he got the shot and it went in, especially from outside the box, because he never does that. But, he was not playing well. Like, regardless of the goal, regardless of the goal, he was our worst player on the pitch. Him and Palmer were the worst two of the worst players on the pitch, regardless of the goal. So, I don't know. I felt like, let's just take a quick look at Nani. Like, Nani had most dribbles in the game, most duels won in the game. He probably had a couple shots that probably should have went in. Shots on target, successful dribbles. The crossing was not good. but we don't have anybody to cross the ball to, so how can it be accurate? But look, ground duels won. He did his thing in this game, man. He did his thing in this game. Like I can't necessarily and as Lucas comes in, Nani's one of the players that me and him are very critical of. But yesterday on the left, he was actually very good, very decisive. And it's funny when you put a player on their strong foot on their outside, and he still cuts in regardless and still puts on some good shots. It makes you think maybe he is getting a little better, because a lot of the times with Nani, what you would expect is for him to cut onto a strong foot, but him putting him on the left forces him to go to the byline, which is where his strong foot would be, where that's where Enzo Maresca wants the ball to be taken to the byline. Right, like that's what a byline winger or a winger would be necessarily for this football club. So, like, yeah, I noticed that they're getting their ass kicked, the women's team. That's a here no there. That Barcelona women's team has three of the best players in the world. Like, you can't really say much. Also, they always have the refs on their side. Anyways, yeah, Nani was fantastic, man. Like, this is one of the best games I've seen from Nani when it comes to decisiveness and decision making. Those are the two things that I could say that he played extremely well when it came to those two specific things. And I just want to give him credit where credit's due, because I thought, like, normally I'm very critical of this player. So, like, when he does play well, I got to give him his props. Like, that's just literally it. Like, I got to give him his props. Lucas, my G, I don't know. Did you get to watch the game yesterday? I know it was really early.
No. Like, it's funny. I'm on strike for watching Chelsea games for the rest of the season, and it's actually good. We will be 2-0, so I'm gonna continue that for the rest of the season. Hopefully, we can make Champions League if I do that.
Because like my strikes is gonna be the reason why
that's why. Yeah, it's a thing I had with CNAC, and I was like, listen, maybe I should just stop watching Chelsea games for a while, and then maybe we can get it on a roll.
Yeah.
But I did watch the highlights though. It seems like Nani played on the left.
Yep.
Right, and just trying to I'm trying to remember like what I saw in the highlights, but 1-0. Like I'm seeing a lot of fans complain on the timeline and stuff, and again, Everton are a tough team to beat. They play low block.
Bro, they take points off of all the big teams. Like I think they've taken points off of literally every single big team this year.
They have a very physical team as well. Mm-hmm. So it's like, technical teams usually struggle against physical teams, right? So,
as long as they like you put your chances, as long as the physical team puts their chances away.
Yeah. So, and same with the Fulham game. I didn't watch that game, but I watched the highlights. Again, what are people complaining about? A win is a win.
That's part of it, right? Like I just don't get like where we come off as fans nowadays.
Yeah.
Where we're like, oh, we didn't play that well, so I'll just like to draw. Like what? What? Are you football fans or are you Chelsea fans? Like, are you a Chelsea fan? Are you sure you're a Chelsea fan? That's what I always wonder with a lot of these people. Like, are we actually talking to Chelsea fans right now?
Yeah.
So now, Lucas, thanks for bringing that up, because there's a clip that I've been wanting to fucking play, bro. That is just disgusting, bro. It literally just like it makes me so. It boils my blood, bro. It boils my blood. Like, all right, this is the one right here. Let's play the clip.
How many games have we lost this year against teams that we would roll over every game? It is so bad. It's so bad.
So even after the 1-0 win today, do you still feel underwhelmed?
Do you know what? I'd have been happy with a draw today.
Okay. Well,
that's how bad we're playing. All this side footing, back, doesn't work. How many games have we lost this year against teams that we would roll over every game? It is so bad. It's so bad.
So even after the 1-0 win today, do you still feel underwhelmed?
Do you know what? I'd have been happy with a
He would have been happy with a draw. Now, can someone tell me how you are a Chelsea fan? Someone fucking tell me how you're a Chelsea fan, bro. Straight up. I don't get it. I don't get how you can get to this point. I couldn't, dude, I couldn't even get to this point. Like, how do we get to a point as a fan base where it doesn't, like, to me, it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter if you're in a how bad we're playing. It doesn't matter any of it, right? None of that shit matters to me. As long as we're playing, as long as we win football games, I do not give a fuck. See, here's the thing, right? Jose Mourinho didn't have a great style of football.
Nope.
Let's say Thomas Tuchel didn't have a great style of football.
He was a terrorist.
Did not have a great style of football. Carlo Ancelotti, as you can see from like football, like if you're watching football right now, he's the greatest manager ever. But stylistically,
I will say though that 09-10 season was the best football I've ever seen. Like
but stylistically, overall, like he's a manager.
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
When we're talking tactically, we're talking.
Oh, he's not a tactician at all.
My point.
Yeah.
So I just named 3 of our greatest managers that we've had at this.
Conte was a terrorist.
Let's go 4. 4 of our greatest managers we've had at this football.
But you know what it is, Joey? It's all
none of them.
Because they won. No one cared.
Played great football.
But because they won, no one cared. That's the thing. You know, I think with Maresca,
Lucas, what happened yesterday?
We won.
Okay, so why are we going back to this? Why? Why is it that we are going back to? I would have been happy with the draw. You're not a fan if you're happy with a draw.
I think fans in England, Joey, and this is just my opinion, I think they prefer a more counterattacking style of play, where it's like they can deal with a Conte, they can deal with a Mourinho because they're more counterattacking managers. But when it comes to like possession, they hated Sarri. They hated Sarri. They actually pushed him out of town. I wanted Sarri to stay actually, because I thought Sarri, and the difference between I see with Sarri and Maresca is Sarri was more of a bastard. Like I looked at Sarri as like this guy's ruthless. You know, with my problem with Maresca, like it's the style shit, but it's also what he says in the media, like the way he conducts himself in the media. Like he says a lot of shit, and it's just like, bro, I'm gonna take you at your word, bro. Like if you say something, okay, I'm gonna take you at your word, and you say a lot of things. Like when I noticed that this guy wasn't good enough back in October, because for me, when he was talking about like top 6 or not even making Champions League when we were second in the league, like, bro, that's not something you say, man. Like you can think it, but you need to push the players. You need to convince the players that, listen, we're here to compete for the league, even if you don't think it's realistic. But you need to be more ruthless. You need to galvanize a squad, and you need to be more like assertive. You can't just be like, oh, it's okay if we don't finish top 4. Bro, you're second in the league, bro. Like, what are we even talking about?
Yeah.
And that pissed me off big time.
No, I don't. Anybody who's like was upset about those words from him, I don't blame him, to be honest. Like I don't blame anybody getting upset about that. Like someone saying like them anybody getting upset about any of that. Realistically, like I would just be.
For example, right, Joey, you're in sales, right?
Right? Like
you're in sales, right, Joey?
Yep, of course.
So let's say you hit your goal, right? And you tell your boss, I hit my goal. Mm-hmm. And then your boss is like, you don't have to hit your goal next month. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he's trying to lower your standard, Joey. You hit your goal and you have a certain standard that you have to meet, right? And your expectations is every month I'm going to hit my goal. Every quarter I'm going to hit my goal. Mm-hmm. And then your boss tells you, it's okay if you don't hit your goal. That's not how you should. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, yeah. Also, though, I guess I guess to use the same analogy as this, right? I hit my goal this month, right?
Right.
And then next month they're like, we're not going to give you enough. We're not going to give you enough leads to get this for you to hit your goal.
Mhm.
So you don't have to hit your goal. I mean, that's literally what happened.
Yeah, but that's why I
Like,
say the owners are also an issue.
Wait. Say what you were going to say again.
But that's why I also reiterated that it's a trickle down effect from the ownership, the SDs, and the. I don't just blame Maresca.
Oh, 100%,
I blame all three of them.
That's my biggest thing, right? Like, I don't mind if people blame Maresca, right? Like, that's not a problem. Like, you have every right, and I'm personally I'm personally one at this current moment where I don't believe that this manager is going to take us any further than the top 4 areas, regardless. Like, I'm right there with no. I just don't have like a sense of someone else coming in and actually like them picking a guy who's going to actually take us beyond that anyway. So like I'm kind of like in a okay, this is who we got kind of like situation with it all. So like I don't necessarily think that like I don't necessarily think Maresca should be our manager like long term, but I also think I don't want these sporting directors to pick another manager, so just keep Maresca. Like that's kind of where my mind is at with it.
I think
because I would at least like to see Maresca have more than 1 year. Like I'm kind of tired of the hire situation. I would like for us to, if we need to fire him, I have no problem to do that, right? But like I also would like to see somebody get a bit of runway. That's all. Like a little bit more runway than we've given other people. Like that's it. Like that I don't think that that's too much to ask for. Like I think that us as fans can ask for this team to have a little bit of a runway with one manager, where they're actually because like that's kind of how, like, I don't know, Eddie Howe. Like if you asked me 3 years ago if Eddie Howe was ever going to win a trophy with Newcastle, I would have said never. But they've kept with Eddie Howe and they kept allowing him to build something in the end. And like that's all I would like to see someone try to do. That's it. I'd like to see someone try to build something rather than it just being fire, hire. And like it's cool if you want to do that, but if it was up to me, I'd actually just like to see something, just a bit of something.
I mean, I will give Maresca credit for improving us defensively because, again, I don't like any of our center backs. Apart from Fofana, who's injury-prone, I don't like any of them, right? And we have conceded less goals. And on the counter, we're a lot better at, defending transitions and stuff like that. And, again, it's just with Chalobah and Levi Caldwell.
I don't know why I can't find this fucking list, bro.
But, so I will give Maresca credit for that, and I agree with you. Like if he makes his Champions League, again, for me it's Champions League and Conference League. He has to win the Conference League and he has to make Champions. Again, it doesn't really matter what we think, right? At the end of the day, it's all about the SDs and the owners,
right, and
what they'll decide to do. But if he stays on another year, I'm looking at like potential managers to replace this guy, right? I would be okay with the Nagelsmann because when I watched how they played that Bayern team. Before they sacked him and brought Tuchel, which was the dumbest thing that Bayern have ever done.
I also think, though, isn't there a sense of like, I think that like the best of the managers that are going to be available are all like World Cup managers, too.
Yeah.
So
I would think the Spain manager.
at the end of it, right? If we're like sitting here and we're talking about it, and we're thinking about it, right? We might as well just have this, like, give him this one more season, or at least give him this one more runway of getting people, and like building his team, and then next year there'll be international managers available that we can actually go for.
I would take the Spain manager because the way they play football, bro, is like it's not like the 2008.
I think that's probably the one guy in world football that probably is never going to leave that job.
Yeah. That's probably it.
Like it just means serious, bro. Like this is a guy. Like I'm gonna put it in perspective for you, okay? he's been coaching Lamine, right?
Yeah,
He's been
yeah.
coaching Lamine since he like entered U18 football. Do you understand?
Mm.
Like he's been the coach for Lamine in the international game because he was the U21 coach before this. He was a U18 coach before this.
Right.
He's just moved up the ranks, and he's coached Lamine. He's coached all these young players that are coming in. All of them. Pedri before he hit the fucking U21 team. Like, he's coached all. That's the only guy I'm like, there's nobody that's going to get this guy off this job.
I think with fans as
Nagelsmann,
well,
though. Nagelsmann, I hear it.
I've always liked Nagelsmann, right? And this is before he even joined Bayern, bro. Like a buddy of mine
Nagelsmann,
and
I
I
hear
would talk about him, bro. Like, bro, Nagelsmann, bro. Imagine Nagelsmann. This is before Tuchel. This is before any of those guys came in. He was like 29, 30 at the time. I said, bro, imagine if we get Nagelsmann. We talk about it. And years later, with the Bayern, they were, bro. That Bayern team they could have won the Champions League if Nagelsmann had stayed because the way they were playing, the way they were destroying teams.
Didn't Flick replace Nagelsmann, though?
No, Nagelsmann replaced Flick, and then they sacked Nagelsmann, and then they brought in Tuchel, which is the dumbest thing they've ever done, because they almost bottled the title. And
I think though there was a little bit more to that though.
Yeah, I don't think he liked the upper management.
That, and I think that he was already getting pepped up to be German manager around that time, anyways. So he kind of had like he didn't have to listen to the people at Bayern, the people that got fired at Bayern, realistically, actually, because they're all getting fired.
They were running that club to the ground. I think with Nagelsmann, I don't think we would ever hire him, unfortunately, just because of the board, bro. Eghbali, he's waiting.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I'm not. Like, I don't want them to change this manager unless
they need to seize control, give it to a guy that actually knows what he's doing, because Nagelsmann actually knows how to coach a squad, a young squad. I think Musiala's best years were under Nagelsmann, bro. Like, he developed Musiala really well. And yes, he's talented and everything, but he was able to get a lot of those young players, and they were doing really well. Like, Flick had him before, and then he took over, and then he was doing a really good job. So I think Nagelsmann would be my preference, but again, I don't think we'd hire him just because of how controlling the board is.
Mm-hmm.
And the SDs would have to say. I think we have to get again. I think we're all in agreement. We have to get rid of the SDs first, because there's no point of sacking Maresca.
Yeah, that's my biggest point. Is I don't want to sack Maresca if these SDs get to choose the next guy. Like, that to me would be redundant. Like, that's the way I see it. I just see it as a redundancy. Like, we're just doing the same things over and over again.
It would be
at least they just give if the plan is to do that, you might as well just give Maresca another season to try to build something. Like, that's where I see it.
Yeah.
All right. So I think this is a good chance for us to have a conversation about some players that we're linked with. But I'm trying to find the list. Somebody made a list of the players that we're linked with, and I can't find it anywhere, bro. Like, literally anywhere. Like, it's crazy. I'm so surprised I can't find it anywhere. Like, I'm literally struggling to find the entire, someone made a list of all of it, right? And I can't find it anywhere, bro.
Let me see if I can find. We can probably find it on
and I've looked through Pice. I've looked through what's that, Blue Co. They're normally really good. The Blue Co Extra.
Maybe Vince probably posted it. Did Vince post it? Maybe.
Yeah, I could check Vince next. All right, while we look for this, I want to have a quick conversation about Strasbourg real quick. Me and you have a quick conversation about Strasbourg. Yeah, these kids are playing football, son.
These kids are good.
They are playing football, bro. The striker for Strasbourg right now has been linked with Newcastle and West Ham. Even though he was awful yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, he was.
I would
bad.
like to see him there one more year, just so he can like be exposed to like Europa League and then.
Yeah, but that's what it is though. Now I feel like all of that is just that's how football is right now. That's just the state of football right now, in my opinion. It's like everybody is getting a move 1 year early.
Yeah,
That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And the good thing I like about that kid is he's 2-footed. I'm a big fan of players that are 2-footed, Joey. Like for me,
Yeah.
if you're 2-footed, bro, like
but I was telling you this in January, bro. I
Yeah.
was telling you this in January. The kid is good enough for it. He could have been loaned here, and he would have outscored Nico in this run. Like outscored him in no question. I was telling you this in January. Just loan him in. Get Strasbourg another striker, bro. Like getting Strasbourg another striker wasn't.
we could have literally loaned him Gui, bro.
Yeah, no, Gui was injured at the time when I was.
I think Gui, if he goes to Strasbourg, he's gonna tear up that league. Bro.
Oh, he's gonna fuck that league up,
He's
bro.
gonna tear up that league.
No, dude, he's gonna. I'm being serious. He's gonna fuck that league up.
He's gonna tear up that league.
Like, I really have faith in this kid. Like, not many, and I think people overlook it.
Yeah.
Look, CFC Daily. Okay, let me quickly take a look. Let me go through some of these chats. Can you go through CFC Daily real quick? Try to find it. Okay, so let me go through some of these chats. Where were we here? Okay, so I don't really watch Santos. Is he really like Enzo or Lavia? I'm gonna let you answer this one.
Bro, for me, like when I look at Santos, he's kind of like Bruno. For me, like the way I look at Santos, he's like
Bruno G, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
like he reminds me
Great
of Bruno
comparison.
G. Like
Yep.
the way he just like he does a little bit of everything. So it's like Enzo, he's more of like a deep line playmaker, but even though he plays a little bit forward with us,
Mhm.
and then Caicedo is a lot more defensively, and then Lavia. I get Lavia, bro. That guy is such a fucking beast, bro. Like,
No,
Lavia-
Lavia is the different one. In my
People
opinion.
are like, I didn't watch the last two games, but you guys can confirm. People are saying that Lavia is the difference.
Well, he wasn't he didn't play against Fulham. So
Oh, he didn't play. Okay,
no, he didn't play against Fulham. But
they were
But
saying he was the difference
against Everton, bro, you could tell. You could just tell the way that we played football yesterday in the first 60 minutes of that game. Lavia just controlled the entire game, bro.
Bro, he's the most press-resistant player that I've seen play for this club in years, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, the guy, like, he can have like 4 players around him. He'll still get away from it. Like, it's crazy.
I would say Bruno G is probably the best comparison for Santos.
He
Probably
scores goals too, which is like
Yep.
incredible, right? From where he starts, but
But I would say he's more of like somebody that can compete with Enzo, in my opinion. Compete with Enzo is probably the best way of putting it. Chelsea Women's is getting put in a split. Yeah, I spoke about that.
I would like to see us, Joey, play a 4-3-3. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree. I
move down the
absolutely
middle wing
agree.
and then just do like 3 midfielders: Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, or like Andre Santos. Because I think again, people don't like Enzo, and I get why EPL fans don't like Enzo.
Mhm.
Because they just because he doesn't run and all that stuff. But again, I as I posted in the chat, Joey, he's created the most chances in the EPL from central midfield.
Yep,
We are less creative without Enzo in the lineup.
that's true.
that's the
It's
fact.
true. This isn't. Oh yeah, you were talking about the clip. Yep, Tuchel. People just. I mean, that's the thing with Tuchel, bro. Like people. That's hilarious. He got us our champs, right? Like, well, let's not get it twisted. But I mean, football wasn't anything to write home about.
It was horrible. I hated Tuchel ball. It was terrible.
Outside of Sarri, we've been playing defensive counterattacking football for years, so fans are not accustomed to this and assume they know what attacking football is. Yeah, you're right. That's a fact.
I'm assuming he's talking about Maresca.
Yeah. I prefer a second season with this guy over somebody like Poch. I would agree with that. Looks like, man, you might be getting a pen here.
Totally forgot that game was going on.
Yeah, it looks like it's Kirkes too. It's a terrible. Oh no, it's a Evan Nielsen. No, it's a red card. That's a red card. Yeah, 100%. That's a red card. Yeah, exactly, Cardell. Yeah, I felt like with Vivell, Nagelsmann would have been a layup actually.
Oh,
Nagelsmann did really well during the Euros. I'd like him at Chelsea. Yep. Dual ownership. You don't agree with dual ownership? Why do you say that, G?
what happens if Chelsea and Strasbourg both make Champions League? Yeah, how does that work? Because didn't Girona and Man City make Champions League?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is sell enough of the club off, and you.
I think the only rule, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, is like you can't sell to each other for like a season.
Yeah.
Or something
Well,
like that.
no. It's part of it. There's actually multiple parts of this rule. I'm not even really like.
Yeah. Okay.
And then. Yeah. Hey, Winter Surfer, do you know where there's people have been making lists of like all of our transfer targets, and I haven't been able to find it anywhere on X. Do you happen to know where maybe one is? Like on Twitter?
No, I'm not. No, I just like maybe I don't know if Pies has got it or
I've looked everywhere, bro. I can't seem to
one of the
find it. Like, this is what Abdimas is for, bro. Yo, Abdimas really be hitting me, son, with the lists. I'll get him to do it right now.
I mean, we know of a few like off the top of our head.
Yeah. Of course, I just like having a visual. That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
are they? Right, you have to establish are they truly our targets or
That's why I'm
fans-
going. That's kind of
fans-
why I
fans
want the
targets.
list, right?
Yeah, you have to determine what fans want and what they're actually going to go after. That's the difference.
All right, so let's start at let's start at center back, okay? Center back, the one that we've been linked with the most, obviously, is Huijsen. Huijsen, the big one, the reason why I think we have the advantage with the Huijsen deal in the end is because of Ali Barat, the agent for Huijsen, who is also the agent for Caicedo, who's also a close friend to Igbali. Okay, so like if I'm gonna be realistic, like this Huijsen deal, as much as other teams think that they have a chance, we really do have the upper hand in this deal. Like just overall, from everything that I've read about this, it's really it's kind of up to us to spend the money. Okay, so Huijsen's playing right now against Manchester United. I've been watching majority of the game. What's your thoughts about this? Like, I think we have a little. I think this is a good panel of people so far. If we could get Ahmed on, that would be fantastic. But just because I think Ahmed also provides a different perspective that would be valuable to this conversation. But Andrew, I'm gonna start with you, G. What do you think? What's your thoughts on Dean Huijsen, bro? Like, what are you thinking? What do you think about him? Like, what do you think about him and him part of this team?
Yeah, he looks very good. Looks very composed at such a young age. I can see why people are linked to him. He's had a good first season in the Premier League. My opposition to this deal is not opposition. My I don't mind bringing him in, but it's the environment. Do you know what I mean, Jerry? It's like we're just creating. We just got who's the leader in this defense? do you know what I mean? It's like
I hear it.
Do you know what I mean? It's like we're all like going. Colwell's 21, and he needs someone older than him to help him develop and.
Yeah, he needs someone to hold his hand.
Yeah, and we're asking what a 19-year-old to come in, and then it's a 20-year-old to come in. It's not the deal.
By the way, that Sarr kid is a physical monster, bro. Like if you guys
he's young as well, right? How old is he?
Yeah, he's 21 or something like that. I
That's
think
what I
20 or
mean.
21.
We're bringing people
He's like,
in.
but he's fit. Like he's more like the Zuma type, like
Yeah.
like physical, just beast. Like, but once again, you need somebody that can hold these guys' hands, son. Like
that's
one
my,
guy that like you feel that's comfortable holding these guys' hands. And Tosin ain't it, bro. Tosin ain't it.
No, exactly. Tosin ain't it. You can't ask Colwell to do that. He needs someone to help him. Do you know what I mean? It's like that. You can't rely on Fofana because of his injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. So I think you have to bring in another defender as well as Huijsen. To bring in, I think you'd have to do that given the state of
Okay, so
people who are going to sell any injuries.
I think a good question is like, does that defender exist?
I think it does, but people are like, I know the general consensus. You get the old snobbery. I think Mark Guehi's that guy. I think
I guess my question is what makes you believe that? I guess is my real question.
Well, I've seen him develop at Crystal Palace. He's a very fine defender. Plays well for the national team. Was the best defensive player for a defensive England at the Euros. Can play on the left or the right, and he's got that. For me, he's got that leadership intangible. He was part of a very good.
I just haven't seen. I guess that's my question with that. Is like, with Guehi, right? Where is this thought? Where does this thought come from that he has this leadership quality that people make it out to be? Like, I just don't know where it's coming from, more or less. Like if you told me, Andrew, just let me give you an example to kind of hold you over. If you told me it was Marquinhos, okay, even though Marquinhos isn't the best of defenders, right? If you told me it was Marquinhos, I would understand. Like leadership-wise, I would understand overall, right? There's no question about it. You could see what you're getting from the guy, okay? Played at a top team, was a captain for that top team, all that. Won plenty of titles at PSG, all that, right? Not to say he'd be Thiago Silva, but it would give us, a leadership quality level individual in the building. With Guehi, right? There's no quality of winning something in there. And I might be wrong by the end of the season, right? Like at the end of the season, I might be wrong. He might end up with a FA Cup, but like there's no quality of winning something that's holding you to a standard of this is what we're supposed to be, of like this is the quality of what we're supposed to be. At least if we went with like a David Hanko, he's actually won his league. Like he's obviously he's not Premier League proven, but he's at least won his league. He's also 29, so it's not like a
that immediately rules him out, doesn't it?
His age is actually one of ilk. But I also think that with Huijsen, I'm more worried about Colwell than I am with Huijsen, regardless on what Huijsen does. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that makes it more of a Colwell problem than a Huijsen problem. Because in my opinion, the big thing here is like Huijsen, I think also is going to play. Since Levi's going to stay, he's going to play on the right.
I presume so. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, like, it's still more of a Levi problem than it is a Huijsen problem.
I agree. I just think with Guehi, I like his mindset. I like what very good partnership with was it Anderson that went to Fulham in the summer. Formed another good one with Lacroix. Remember at the start of the season, Palace.
I like Lacroix, bro. I think, I really like Lacroix.
Remember at the start of the season, Palace didn't. I don't think Palace won in their first 8 games or something like that. I think they
something like that.
I remember he was linked to Newcastle all summer. He wanted to leave. He doesn't want to.
Well, you're talking about Guehi was linked to Newcastle.
Gary doesn't want to stay at Palace. We all
well, I mean, he has one more year left, right? So,
but he doesn't. We know he doesn't. He's not going to sign a new contract. We all know he's not going to sign a new contract, even if he doesn't move this summer. He's not going to
The
Fine,
only
you know.
reason I see Gahey as being like something that I would say, you know what, that's fair. It is. I could see a Chalaba plus like them buying Chalaba, us buying Gahey, and it being like a reasonable cost. But it not only just it being reasonable, it would be extra reasonable because we have that 20% sell on clause on top of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, they sold us. Let's just say they sold us Gahey for 40, right?
Yeah.
And we sold them Trevor for 25.
Yeah.
Right. It would almost be like even money. Like we'd spend 10 million total for like, which in my opinion, that's not that shabby in the end, right? No. But if you're telling me, here's my issue, right, Andrew? If you're telling me Crystal Palace still wants 70, then I have an issue.
I agree.
All the way up, and I have that number. I'd probably say all the way up to 50 million. I would say.
I agree. I think that's where it gives us, like you said, with the sell-on clause, it should give us an actual advantage over everyone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
no matter what we're making,
they'd be giving us money. They'd be losing money anyway if they sold it.
They're paying us money. Yeah.
They'd be losing it if they sold it. So we could come in and go, even if we're not offering Chalaba or he doesn't want to go there, we could come in and go, well, it's 50. Even if you sold him for 75, you'd still only be getting 50 anyway, because you'd be giving 25 of it to us anyway. So
I don't think they have much of a leg to stand on because they're
not with us. They don't.
I think that the big thing is the only thing that would really kind of put a spanner in it is if they end up winning that FA Cup, so they got Europa. Like I think that would put a bit of a spanner because then they wouldn't actually need the money to rebuild. Like they'll get money to rebuild. But I still think they would do it.
That's understandable. But then he's still so we already know that Newcastle bid 60, 65, 70. And they turned it down, right? They turned it down in the summer. He's still not going to resign. So they either risk losing him on a free or trying to resign him for the rest of the year. But I don't think he wants to do that. I think he served a good 4 or 5 years there. You know, he served a good 4 or 5 years there. He's improved. He's helped them. If he leaves, if they win the FA Cup, that's a great thing to sign off on. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed.
You know what I mean? They can't then go, well, I remember he stayed and he hasn't kicked up. We haven't heard any reports of him kicking off or anything.
Nah, but that's a professional footballer, though, dude.
That's what I mean. No, but he is. But we're
he
not saying anything like.
I'll give him that. You're never going to hear anything about Gahey with anything, bro.
Like, no, he's very
professional, dude. He's a that's all. Like, I mean, he's the adult. He would be the adult in the room, literally. Like he would literally be the adult in the room.
Jerry, even if it's not Gahey, I think we are agreed it cannot be just Huijsen by himself. Do you know? It cannot be
Lucas,
Huijsen.
What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in part agreement with Andrew. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Guehi. My problem with him is, again, although he is 2-footed, which I like, which means he can play on both sides, and him and Houston, like, it'd be perfect because they could play on both sides. My problem with Guehi is I honestly don't see this incredible defender that a lot of fans do. I'm kind of more on like prime when it comes to Guehi, that this guy is not like great in the air. He's not like the fastest. The whole leadership thing, again, I think it's a little bit overblown because for me, it's all about profile, Joey. And with Houston, you need a physical, aggressive center back. And ideally, I would like someone that's fast and just powerful that can just bully, attackers. And with Guehi, again, he's okay, but again, I think it would be like a sideways.
I know the messed up part. The actual profile that like would be perfect for this is Bisek, and Bournemouth are going to replace fucking.
It's not even just him, bro. You have someone like Bremer, right? Bremer.
Only if only Bremer didn't get injured every year, bro.
Yeah, no, but he's not even injury prone, Joey. The thing is,
I know, but he had
the ACL, right?
He had 2 bad injuries, bro. He's had 2 bad injuries now.
But he had the ACL, right?
Uh-huh.
And before that, like he was actually like I think he had like 100+ games. With
but he had an ACL like the first year at Juve too.
I don't know about you guys, though.
This is his second ACL.
I think I would I would liken. I'm sort of liking this Huijsen. If you get a Huijsen and Gerhi as a sort of like Saliba, Gabriel sort of thing, where like everyone's high up on Saliba. Gabriel's the actual one who's improved over the last 2 years defensively. He's become one of the best centre backs in the Premier League. I think it's I think we have to get Jerry. I think we have to. Jerry, I think we have to talk about partnerships, not just one player and one player. That's what we have to. We have to get a stabilized centre-back partnership. We haven't had that for years. We haven't had a stable. We were starting to see something with Fofana and Colwell, but then Fofana got injured and then Colwell fell off a cliff. Do you know what I mean? We were starting to see that, but we haven't had a stabilized centre-back partnership for many, many years. I think since, Sarri?
Andrew's right, Joey. I think if you look at it, right, if you look around the league, Andrew and Joey, like, there aren't many great defenses, bro. We're like 4th in the league and we've conceded 40 goals.
Yep. No, that's the point. It's like, as bad as we think our defense is, that's the point that's the crazy part. As bad as we think our defense is.
It's terrible, bro.
It's not as bad as anybody actually realizes.
Yeah, no, but it's literally bad.
Not as bad as anybody realizes. Like, if we think our defense is bad because we hold ourselves to a standard of defense that we've had for decades. Okay,
decades.
We haven't been smashed. We haven't been smashed this season.
Chelsea has always been built on center backs.
Center backs.
Yes,
it's always been built on center backs. If people don't grasp that, I don't know what to tell you. It's been built on center backs from Terry.
But Joey, right?
Terry to Silva
if we look around.
Cahill, Luis, like, we know our center back quality that we've had over years and years. Fucking both times Luis was here, he was good. We built our team on our center backs, the center back partnerships, the Cahill Terry, the Desai Terry, the Carvalho Terry. We built our teams on center backs, right?
Yeah.
And right now, we just don't have the partnership.
Yep.
We just don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind. I don't mind Gehi that much. I think he's a little bit underrated physically, in my opinion. Like, if you want my honest opinion, it's just his physique in general. Like, his actual physique in general, right? That kind of puts you off on how physical he actually is.
Sure.
For him being a 6-foot center back, he's actually quite a physical player. Like just overall. And like his heading issues are evident when he plays in a 2. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, and he's gonna play in a 2 with us. Like, and it's just normal. But I've seen Chalobah grow in that area.
Yeah.
Like, so like I don't necessarily think it's like the worst center back that we could have gotten, but I was confused when we signed Gary Cahill.
Yeah, I keep telling people we don't sign.
Confused. Like, there was 10 fucking center backs we could have gotten. We got the Bolton one that was getting relegated.
Like,
look at our entire history. Okay, let's go 20 years. Name me a world-class centre-back in that time. I mean, Thiago Silva was on the way down. He played well in the back three and stuff like that. But
Rudy. Man, we had to build Rudy into that centre-back.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, when I hear Chelsea fans go, we must sign world-class players. We turn players into world-class players more than we buy world-class players. Do you know what I mean? It's very rare we buy a ready-made world-class player. Do you know what I mean? It's very rare we do that. I mean, maybe Cesc was the last one.
I mean, we did buy Desai though, like as a
right, but Desai was
fucking 20. That was 20 years ago, bro.
Oh, I thought you meant like.
I'm talking like pre. That was pre-Roman, obviously. I'm talking about last.
Okay.
If we're talking about this generation of fans, let's go like back 10, 15 years or something.
Would you say Carvalho was world class? Because
Carvalho's the one where I'll give you. He was world class.
I believe Carvalho would be called world class. If we bought him now, Carvalho would be deemed world class. I don't think back then people knew how good he was because social media wasn't around.
Jose knew how good he was. That was the difference. Jose knew how good he was. Like,
exactly. He was
back then, like Jose was like, "This is the guy I'm taking with me." Like,
Yeah.
coming from this is the guy.
But that's the thing.
Jose bought his right back and starting centre back from his Champions League winning team to his new club.
Yep.
You know, he established. So he established two guys ready to go, ready to not just in the dressing room, ready to start, ready to go. You're right though. But since then, we've turned every single centre back we have bought.
Mason Mount blew it, bro. He blew the chance.
Everyone we turned into world class. Rudiger wasn't deemed world class before he joined us.
No. Absolutely not.
No, Rudiger was Rudiger was actually part of the Roma team that Allison and Salah were on.
Yes. Yeah.
He was not good at
ended up winning the Europa League that year.
And even that, everyone has a go at David Luiz's defensively, but him and Rudiger under Sarri only conceded 33 goals that season under Sarri in the league.
That's because we controlled football games in that year.
That's what I mean. So it's like he played well. Gary Cahill was.
There's a balance there, though. Still, Andrew, there's a balance. Aggressive.
Gary Cahill was phenomenal for us. Gary Cahill was brilliant.
Gary Cahill was one of the most underrated center backs that this club's ever had, bro.
I know he never gets talked about,
bro. And
I don't understand.
Not only that, in the box on corners, was dominant. Was dominant in the box on corners, bro. Dominant.
I think the only other world-class player, Andrew, I can remember as Bayern was Makelele, and that's pretty much it.
Like, Yeah.
But like other than that, I agree with you.
Like world class at the time. And Ballack was the other one.
Ballack. Deco was kind of on the decline.
I think Deco was on the wane when we bought. I think he was on the way down when we bought.
Same with Crespo.
Crespo and these guys were kind of like on the decline.
Fabregas maybe.
Fabregas.
Yes, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But overall, we don't like.
Like he had one good season.
But we turn them exactly. We turn him into world class. This is why.
Yeah, but Robin wasn't world class when we bought him. He was a youngster when we bought him.
He wasn't world class when we bought him. I don't think he was world class when we sold him.
Yeah.
Either. I think he got world class at Bayern. He got world class at Bayern.
He got his opportunity at Bayern, bro.
Bayern is when Bayern is true Robin, the final of our former Robin, and that was when he was world class.
Right? Robin and Schneider went to Real Madrid, flopped, and then they went to other clubs and they became legends.
Yep.
Oh, Inter Milan, Snyder was awesome.
Yeah, Inter Milan Snyder is one of my favorite players to watch ever.
He is brilliant.
You know?
Snyder, but that's
all right, so next target, okay? We're gonna go since I think we kind of hit the center backs, right?
Yeah.
I think Houston and Guehi, Joey, it's gonna end up being those two.
Cole's a great Carlito, great one. Ashley Cole's another one that we bought.
My God, Ashley Cole, that's right.
And then he got even greater with us. But he got greater. He got greater with us. He got greater.
Yeah, and he got better. But he was already world class at that.
But he was better off at Arsenal, in my opinion.
He was already world class. You can't even. I can't say anything else. He was absolutely world class.
He was insane.
All right. So the next targets, right? We're gonna talk wingers. This is an interesting conversation for me overall. Because I don't necessarily think wingers are our issue. It's profile of striker with the wingers that we currently have is our issue. With the so let me preface it before we get into it is my problem with last year's window, right? My problem with last year's window is the fact that we needed. Sorry, United game. Side netting. Okay, so the problem with the way that the window was we went and we bought two wingers that were creators. Okay.
Yeah.
We had a more of a creator type striker, I guess is the best way of putting it. Yeah. Not my favorite type of striker, but let's just say he is more of a creator than a goal scorer when it comes to the qualities that he has. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just say false nine. So when you get that type of false nine type of level striker who wants to be in build-up, you need goal-scoring wingers. They decided to get two creative level wingers, high-level creators, in my opinion, if they had the striker that was necessary for them to be successful. and then the balance of it just got messed up. That's why, in my opinion, if we were to go get the striker that was the goal scorer that actually fit the mold, then we wouldn't have this type of issues that we would have, because we're asking creators to be goal scorers, right? Like, we're asking Sancho and Neto to be goal scorers when they're better creators. So, like, mind you, when we speak about these wingers, and I'm going to bring two names up, I would like names from other names that you guys would rather have, or that you would want to go for, okay? So the two names that I'm going to bring up is Gittins and Yildiz, okay? Because Yildiz. The reason I'm bringing these two names up specifically is because we both know, everybody knows that we have two players that are already out on loan in those two teams that we could use as, for lack of a better term, trade bait, right? They would end up being trade bait to these teams. When it comes to Gittins, that's Carney. When it comes to Yildiz, it's Vega. Okay, so let's speak on Gittins first. Okay, Andrew, what is your thoughts on Jamie Bino Gittins? I don't think it's actually Bino Gittins anymore. I think it's just Gittins now, by the way.
I'm bet with these two, I don't really watch a lot of them. I watch like highlights and stuff like that.
Sure.
Or I speak to Jez and Steve, who watch a lot of Bundesliga and stuff like that. They say he's good, but it's another project for me, though. Do you know what I mean? It's like for me, it's another project, and I don't know. I don't think he would bring a lot in terms of goal scoring for me at the moment.
I mean, he has a decent goal scoring record in Champions League. There it is, 1-1.
I knew they'd scam a 1-1.
Hoyland, shit guy scored.
Just about to see it now.
Shit guy fucking scored. Finally scored, bro.
Wow. This is out right now.
He might be off.
If he's off, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
He
that
actually might be off. I just can't see it from here.
It was that one goal in like 30.
He actually might be off, bro. I just can't.
Hold on.
No, he's not. He's not.
Come on.
No. His arm now, and I don't think they're gonna.
No, he's not.
The problem with the angle, that's it's not like on.
Okay, so back to our subject.
Yeah.
Okay? I think that there's a good point. I think there's a very good point. A very good point being made. Okay, so Lucas, I know what you think, so just tell the people what you think. I don't need to fucking argue with you.
It's for me, Joey. He's too erratic. His decision making is very poor, and people are gonna do the whole age thing. But again, you look at a guy like Yildiz, right? When he gets the ball, two players are on him, and again, we were talking about yesterday about pace and all that.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is so freaking gifted, man. He'll go by 1-2 players easy, and he can strike a ball both feet.
You can definitely strike a ball.
Both feet.
You can
Where's
definitely
Bino
strike.
Gittins guy, bro. Again, we're talking about he's playing in the Bundesliga where they give you like a million miles of space. These guys are always on our counterattack, right? We're going to be playing against mostly low blocks, right? So we're going to need a guy that is really good in tight spaces, which for me is Yildiz, because not only is he tall and physical, he can actually.
I think yesterday kind of changed it for me.
You mean you saw Madueke on the left?
The option that I want now changed for me because of how yesterday played out. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. So that right side, right? Like I feel like Neto's starting to kind of take the right side from Nani.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I think that like he's kind of So we need, the way that I see it is we need a goal scorer and creator. Like that's the way I'm seeing it right now. Okay,
Yeah.
one on both sides. So Sancho being the creator on the left, Neto being the creator on the right. Okay, which is what it was supposed to be this year, right?
Yeah.
I also need players on both sides that can stretch the pitch. Okay. So Neto can stretch the pitch on the right. Sancho cannot stretch the pitch on the left. Okay. And that's my biggest issue with Yildiz specifically is because he's a kind of more of a similar mold to Sancho. Okay. I would go with Esteval coming in. I think Esteval kind of covers the goal scorer on the right for the type of winger that we want. Esteval is a goal scoring winger, so that's what we want on the right. All right.
Bring up Marcus comment. That's who he reminds me a little bit. Cavara. Not saying he's as gifted as Cavara.
No, he's not as gifted as Cavara.
But it's like the way they play.
I hear that comparison.
The way they play, Joey, they don't rely on their pace. They have like Cavara is a little bit faster, but again,
But I also think Yildiz is a little bit more physical than Vara. So
yes,
that's kind of the one thing. So I think switching to Yildiz ends up being the right move, right? You send Sancho back to United, and you make Nani permanent left wing, and you work on him from there, and have him be the player that stretches the pitch from there, and then at least for another year, okay. So then you send Sancho back, you get Yildiz, and you play Nani on the left as like a left winger that can stretch the pitch. Okay. That way, if we need to, Yildiz can go into the middle in some scenarios, and he can play in the positions that Palmer is in some scenarios. And that way we have a complete attacking three. Okay. That makes it complete. Okay. I just need to see Nani continue to progress on this left-hand side and be done at right wing. Because that's what I think. I think Nani is done at right wing. Okay. He needs to play on the left, and he needs to continue playing in this manner for me to continue feeling this way. But I do think in the end, he's going to beat out Sancho for that spot the way that he was playing yesterday. Like, if he can continue playing in that manner that he played yesterday, he's going to end up beating Sancho for that spot, and we're going to send Sancho back to Manchester United. Like,
what made me laugh with his performance yesterday when he was dribbling. He went on his right foot. And
did he really take a shot with his right foot? Oh my god.
No, Lucas, hear me out, right? Hear me out, right? This is the funny part. So I think it's actually the smartest thing that anybody does with Nani anybody has ever done with Nani, okay? And I've watched it, right? I've watched it with when he plays for the U21 team with England, he looks like a goddamn monster. And there's a reason. There's actually a reason. So his strong foot's left, right? When you put him on the right, he's going to want to go to his left. Okay? But Nani's instinct is to want to shoot. Okay? So there's an oxymoron here. There's an oxymoron with the player. He wants to go to his left, but he also wants to shoot. Do you see what I'm saying, Lucas?
Yeah.
So basically, forcing him to his left, right, forces him to the byline, which makes him dangerous for the cross. Because his cross is actually decent enough, right? Especially on the strong foot. Because we see it on the right. When it's on the right, he wants to get to his left foot and cross the ball. But if he's on the left, it forces him to be on his left and cross with his left. So it gets to the byline, uses his strong foot to cross. But when the instinct is still there running in his head to shoot. So it forces him to use his right. It forces him, Lucas. That's why he looked so good yesterday. Because it, like all right, Nani, you want to shoot? You want to use your right foot. That's what the defender is going to tell you because they know you want to go left. So now, Nani, use your right foot. He goes,
But-
okay, I want to shoot, so I'm going to do it. He would, and bro, Lucas, he beat his man inside, shoot, and force saves that a striker would tap in.
Joey, you just described how old school football used to be. The
Bro,
right-footed,
no.
the
I
right-footed
know.
winger on the
I
right.
know that,
the left.
Lucas. I know, but that's what it, bro. That's what it is. That's all
what
it
it is.
was. That it is
Yeah.
using the player in a manner, right, where you force them in a position to be
It's
able
like
to.
Rafinha, right? Rafinha, like how he's playing at Barcelona right now, right? He's left-footed,
Yep.
but he's clicking on the left for some reason.
Because
I know-
because he's too dangerous going outside. Okay, because you have Lewandowski in the middle, so you can't just allow him to go outside. So then he realizes I have the inside lane, so I'm taking the inside lane. I'm shooting with my right.
My thing about Madueke is I've always known he's had a right foot. Do you remember that goal away at Luton last year?
Mm-hmm.
Remember where he just banged it top corner? It wasn't like a scruff shot. He actually hit it with full venom top corner away at Luton. My
It's
frustration
actually-
has always been there. It's like you should
It's
hit it more on
actually
your way.
crazy. It's actually crazy, bro.
It's bad.
It's
He's
actually
two-footed.
crazy.
He's two-footed. He's a two-footed winger, but he
I
barely
don't know about
uses it.
two-footed, but yeah.
But when he's on
No,
opposite
I mean,
sides,
I wouldn't say two-footed, but he can be more two-footed. Is my point.
but when he's on, but for some
But
free,
if you force it, if you give him the lane to go inside, right? Like if you to me, I don't think he's as good as he's going to be as good on the right as he ever will be on the left. I'm going to be honest, because once again, the same thing when it comes to wingers, right? It's threat. When I'm a fullback, I played fullback my entire life. I know exactly what foot the winger that I'm playing against, what his strong foot is every single time I would ever play against. So I'm gonna force him to their weak foot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's why two-footed wingers are so difficult to defend. It's literally it.
That's why one of the reasons I want Yildiz, for me, it's the unpredictability. And again, the same thing with the lap. Again, I know a lot of people don't like the lap, but he's two-footed. For me, if you're two-footed, you are unpredictable. You can go left, right. You have no idea, bro. And the thing is, like, for me, like, and if we get Guehi, again, I don't think he's good enough, but he's two-footed. Like Andrew said, he's two-footed. He's actually two-footed. In Houston, we'd have two center backs that could play both sides.
You want to know why I think that? I think if you play Nani on the left, you get more out of him.
yes,
I do. I think because like I said, I think like for what you want out of a winger, right? Specifically winger, not an inside forward, a winger, right? You want them to be able to go and beat their man to the outside. That's something Nani can do. But when he's on his weak foot crossing, the decision doesn't look as crisp. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's every footballer that's not two-footed. The decisions are never going to look as crisp on your weak foot.
But for this to work, Joey, and we have to go back to I think the point that we all know, we need a target striker, or else it doesn't matter. You know, those crosses.
See, Danish, it's not about better games. I thought his effectiveness going down the outside, the way that he was going down the outside, and his delivery from those wide areas, getting down the outside with his strong foot was better.
and also
That's what I'm saying. And like to me, I still think you go get a left winger, but you just replace Sancho. You see where I'm going with this?
Should be
That's
noted though.
kind of more where I'm going with this is not necessarily and it's not even recency bias. I'm going off of his games in England, his U21 games in England. He exclusively played on the left. That's what you guys are getting twisted. At England, with the U21 team, Carsley exclusively played him on the left. He did not play right wing at all for Carsley. At all. At all. I promise you. Go look it up. At all. He never played right wing. He always played on the left. And he always actually played well for Carsley around the left. the reason why he actually could be an effective winger is I'm not asking him to ever be a Jamal, bro. Like I'm not asking him to be Jamal, but I'm asking him to be an effective winger for one more year. Literally, one more year.
I think Quenda is probably going to replace him.
And that's my point, though, Scott. That's my point, Lucas.
Yeah.
Is we don't need you keep 90 for a year, you play him on the left, be the left winger to back up whoever you buy for left wing, right? Or if it's Neto to play at, but at least you have an option for both.
Yeah,
that's it. To me, it's I don't think the way that people talk about Neto to me is like I'm not even gonna get into it, bro. Like
it's like the Enzo thing, bro. They just don't like him. It is what it is. I mean, people just don't like certain players, and you just gotta.
I'm never gonna understand it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'll ever understand it.
By the way, he's had his greatest output this season with us in his entire Premier League.
Without a striker.
I know, but he's had his best output with us. And people might go, "Yeah, well, he should. He's playing for a bigger team." But when you don't have an actual forward,
at least somebody's on my side here, Danish. At least there's someone's on my side here, Danish.
No, I've never rapped on him.
No, but you are sitting here on your own here, CAA Mafia, right now. You are on your own right now.
What's his stop
In
gap?
this channel, you have backers on your side. I know that, but like in this channel right here, you're on your own, bro. Just wait until this guy gets a striker.
What's his stop gap for? I don't know. What's his stop gap for?
That's what I'm saying.
And it's not even just that, Joe. He's adapting to a completely different system. The way that Wolves played last season, the transition type of style versus what we're playing this season is completely different. So he's adapting to a completely different system. And fans don't understand because, again, fans don't watch outside of what they watch with their team, right? They don't watch other leagues. They have a lack of understanding of how other wingers play, So... Again, you bring this guy a striker, and again, it doesn't have to be an Osimhen. It could be literally someone like Retugi that plays for Atlanta. He's a box striker, right? If you don't want to bring him, bring in Samu. Bring in another box striker. But at the end of the day, you bring in a striker, a guy that's always going to be in and around the box. A lot of our issues are resolved just by having a box striker.
Neto will be in
Saudi. I can't watch another season of Nico Jackson. That guy is shit. I don't care if he scored yesterday. I guarantee you he probably missed like 3 or 4 chances. I didn't even watch the game, but I guarantee
he was awful yesterday, bro.
This is what I'm saying. And he scored, right?
Right, he scored, but it was a good goal, though. That's the difference. Like, it was a good goal.
Yeah, it's a first time shot. Yeah.
Like, it was a good goal, in my opinion. Like, he had a good shot. It was a good ball strike, all of it. Like, it was good. It was a good goal. But, like, how many of those?
Bring up Professor's comment, Joey. You just have to respond to this.
Well,
listen, you bring in a box striker that can occupy 2 center backs, that can play like 1-2s with the wingers and the midfielders. Everything opens up, bro. Everything opens up.
Professor Oskla, I don't necessarily agree with that at all, bro. I don't know how you can even say that based off of the way that we played just yesterday.
A box.
Specifically, the second part to this, right? Yeah. Our midfielders don't show for the ball. AM's not on tandem with DMs. That's not it at all. Our AMs are getting man marked, bro. Our AMs are getting man marked. Right?
Oh my God, CAA Mafia. I'll tell you right now, Real Madrid should have battered Barcelona yesterday in that final. They should have battered them. They were better than them in that final. If you don't think Rafinha and Yamal needed Lewandowski yesterday, you're insane. You're absolutely insane.
Bro. That guy's trash.
Yeah, they needed him desperately yesterday. After they scored that first goal, for the rest of 90 minutes, nearly Real Madrid, especially that second half, and before Thibaut Courtois had a bozo moment. It was honestly.
It was a Courtois moment. That's the only reason why they actually.
The only reason it went into extra times because of Courtois. The only reason.
Only reason.
Only reason. Real Madrid should have won that. Real Madrid should have won that.
What type of twisted world are we living in where Courtois is making the bozo moment and Sanchez has a great
Did
game?
you see the amount assist over Rudiger? Are you talking for the equaliser? That was a Thibaut Courtois mistake.
That was a Thibaut Courtois mistake, bro.
Wasn't a
It wasn't
great
it
Yamal
wasn't a
assist.
Yamal assist. It was
Yeah,
barely
it wasn't a great
assist, bro.
Yamal
What are you
assist.
talking about?
It was a long ball. It wasn't a great. It was
Bro,
just
it
a
was
long ball
Thibaut
up front.
Courtois mistake, bro. Don't even get
Just
it
a
twisted.
long ball. It wasn't a
Rudiger
great ball.
had
It's just a
it
long ball up front.
Yeah,
It's
bro,
just a
like,
long ball.
It's actually, bro. That shit is crazy, bro.
Did you guys see the report where we're gonna have different targets if we make the Champions League as opposed to not making the Champions League?
I did not see that report.
There was a report, right? It doesn't specify who we're gonna go for, but it just said like we're gonna have different targets based on if we make Champions League and if we don't make Champions League, which could be, again, I don't particularly rate him, but like go for like a Gyökeres, right, as opposed to a Delap, right? If we make Champions League, we go for a Gyökeres type of player. If we don't, we go for like a Delap or like someone else, you know. So would you guys be okay with the Gyökeres?
I don't even necessarily believe that, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even know if it was Matt Law that said it. I have to go back.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe that. I'm not gonna front.
I'm just fearful it's that's the actual main target, and then they'll hurt someone else. That's my fear.
I think my issue currently with the system, Professor Rosclott, is there's not enough space for Palmer to fucking navigate himself out of these areas. And we went back to a box midfield when early in the season we played a diamond. Like,
Yeah.
and that's where we were when we played the diamond. We were actually fucking teams up. Like, we were actually fucking teams up. And he went back to his box, and I don't know why. I just don't understand why. It takes Enzo more. It takes Enzo totally out of the game when you run this box. When you see Enzo coming in deep into those pockets, like, all right. So here's the difference, right? When you see Enzo coming in deep into the pockets, it's the correct move. When you see Palmer coming in deep into those pockets, it's the incorrect move. It should be whoever the fullback is picking up the ball. But what it ends up happening is he ends up having a switch where the fullback ends up going into that 10 spot and then ends like where with Cucurella specifically, like you see it all the time with Cucurella. Cucurella goes into that 10 spot and then Enzo comes back and picks up the ball on the left-hand side deeper. To me, that's the wrong way of doing it. You need Palmer higher up the pitch. You need to keep Palmer higher up the pitch and picking up the ball and higher up the pitch in the area. It's like that to me is the biggest thing, the biggest issue with the way that we're running this system. That's to me my problem with the issue, the system is you like the way that we're the way, but it's hard to do that without a six who can get out of tight spaces. Okay. Like, it's hard to do that without Lavia. It really is. It's a difficult thing to do because Caicedo isn't the best. Like, the one thing that Caicedo, I would say, is the probably the weakness is him on the half turn isn't as good as, like, say, Lavia. But there's nobody as good as Lavia on the half turn. Like, nobody. I haven't seen somebody as good on the half turn since Busquets. Like, there's nobody that's good on the half turn. So, like, that's kind of the issue with the way that the system's being worked at this current moment. But if we were to go back to that diamond, I think Palmer would be in full effect again, realistically.
I think Maresca's ideal system is a 4-3-3. Just because every time he has a chance, he plays all three of them together. You know, or a variation of like an inverted. Because then we have to remember
because he does this like it's what it is really is it's a 3-2-4-1 is the way that he'll play.
Again, we didn't have James this. Let's say if James had started, what happens to Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo? Is it just a 4-3-3? Is it like?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm curious about, bro. Because like now we'll have. This is the first big game that we've had all of them. well, any of these games coming up, right? Liverpool game this week, next week.
Yeah.
It'll be the first game where we have all of them, all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Reese, Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo. So I'm really curious. And Palmer, the 5 of them. Pretty much our 5 best players. Like, it's our first time all season we've had all of them together.
Or do they go like a 3-3-3-1 maybe? Something like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think like what could be like the formation, you know? Because Enzo could probably play like further forward, and then Palmer maybe like more of like a right winger, and then have like Neto.
Bro, it is going to be interesting how he does. I don't know what he does, bro. I honestly couldn't tell you what he does.
He's got to pick a team first for the first leg on Thursday. So he'll pick a team then. And then it's away, right? So he's got to pick a team that says away. So he's got to pick a team for that first, and then who's left on Sunday?
I think Reese has to play. I think he has to play the center back, like the 3 in the center back.
Yeah, we could give Achimpong some more minutes on the right.
Oh, I'm not talking about that game.
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yeah. I'm not talking about
At centre back. You're putting Reese at centre back.
No, not center back, but the 3.
Right center back.
Yeah, honestly, I play him left. Fuck it. I play him left.
Then invert Cucurella then, or is it?
I don't. I might even. I don't know. I don't know. I
That's why I think, Joey, it could be ultimately, and this is just
I don't know.
thinking off the top.
Like, just because, like,
just think about it, right?
I know that Reese left back's not better than Cucurella, but I don't want Cucurella playing inverted center. I don't want him defend. I'd rather not have him defend Salah. I'd rather him have Reese take Salah out.
He's been very good against Salah, Cucurella. He's not had a one. I don't think he's had a really bad game against Salah.
But last time we played Salah, we played Reese over there. But I think that was out of force because Cucurella was out with an injury or maybe like a
I mean, Salah. Is that?
Why did Cucurella not play that game?
He got suspended against Newcastle. He got suspended for the Newcastle game because he got fouled. He got fouled, and then they didn't reward anything, and then he complained, and he
was suspended, right?
Yeah, he's suspended. Yeah.
Was it Gusto who played? I thought it was Reese who played left.
No, Reese came back. That was one of Reese's first game back, and he played it.
Yeah, I do remember him being his first game back, but it wasn't playing. Back. No, Cucurella didn't play that game. It was Gusto left back. It wasn't Cucurella.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I don't mind it. Regardless of that's gonna be the most interesting lineup, bro.
Yeah.
How he picks that lineup, bro. What is that like?
I think this is just my opinion. I think he plays without fullbacks. No one overlaps, nothing like that, because he doesn't like overlapping fullbacks anyways. I think he goes 3-3-3-1, Joey. Chalobah, Levi Colwill, Cucurella in the back line. Then he inverts Reece James, Lavia, and Caicedo. And then on the front 4 would be Palmer on the right. Enzo as like more of like a 10, but he's more of like a he'll drop in the middle, help out in the midfield, and then Neto on the left, and then Nico Jackson up top. So it'd just be a 3-3-3-1. No fullbacks, no overlapping, none of that. Just 3-3-3-1, just flat. And then he would have Cucurella, he can play on the LCB position. You'll have Reece James, invert into the midfield.
Yeah.
And then it'll just because imagine the physicality, right? Reece James, Lavia, Caicedo, bro. Against a Newcastle, bro, that could be fucking, because we're gonna need physicality.
I'm just so curious, bro. Now this makes it so interesting to me, to be honest. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is my point, bro. This is my point is like I don't know if he does this right wing Palmer shit. I don't know. This is why I'm like so interested now that we have everyone healthy. Like, how does he play the team? How does he get Enzo, Caicedo? Maybe he doesn't play Enzo in those games, or he has Enzo come off the bench in these games.
Enzo's his captain.
Yeah, he's gonna play Enzo because we lack.
Enzo plays more than Reece. Reese is not like you can't count on Reese to play. And if especially if Reese plays on Thursday, starts.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
see
that's,
Reece starting
that's
to
where
work-
I
starting
think
to
that's
make
where I think he gets away with it, bro.
Yeah.
Is Reese plays Thursday?
I don't agree with the two Cobham guys can't play Maresca's system. Cole was playing fine until Fofana got injured. So what are we doing?
Yeah.
There? You know what I mean? And Reese, we don't even know. He's not got a run of games so far. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I'll give Maresca credit, bro. He's actually kept Reese a lot healthier because he's played him into the midfield position.
Yeah.
No,
He's
he's not
using him.
overlapping.
He's
not
using
overlapping
him.
anymore, bro.
He's not rushing him. You know.
No, but he's not overlapping him either. If he overlaps, then he's screwed.
No.
That hamstring is done. He's just in the midfield.
Yeah.
He's playing more in the midfield, so I don't think he's running as much. He has kept the squad healthy this season, which is
Outside of
I
Lavia,
don't
pretty
think-
much
I don't-
everybody.
I don't know how he can. I don't know how he can bench Enzo at the moment. Enzo's playing very well. I don't think you can bench him.
No, he's not going to bench him.
Do you know what I mean? I
That's
don't.
what I'm
No, I
saying.
don't
That's
think.
why
I don't think you should.
That's why
He's
this
playing very
whole
well.
this whole like this is it's like a good but bad headache. But like, how do you get all these guys into the same team with the way that you've been playing?
I think it depends on the matchup, Joey. So, like for example, Liverpool, right? How are we going to line up versus Liverpool? Is it because again they're going to be on the beach potentially because they're going to be?
Yeah, that's
Are you-
also a good point, son.
Are they going to like just rest their players? How is it going to be? And then Newcastle, a more physical team. Manchester United, more of a transition type team where it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like it really depends on the matchup. And then Nottingham Forest, right, Joey? That's a defensive team. It's a low block. So how are we going to play against them? So I think it really depends on the matchup. I think he'll go game by game.
It's very interesting.
What would really help us is if we do what we did in the previous round of the Conference League and like take a 3-goal lead or
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, that would actually.
And then because it's in between the Liverpool and the Newcastle games, so then we can flip it and go, well, we don't need to even start the people. We can do really rotation. Okay, we lost the previous leg, but so what? We had like 3 or 4 goals offside. So, do you know what I mean? So it's like we were never in doubt of losing that. But that's what we need to do. We need to take a very comfortable lead back to Stamford Bridge and do it like that because of where the games fall in between. You know, and you're right. We can't. But
he's gonna have the.
can't rely on though. We
opportunity
can't rely on Liverpool like being on the beach. You know what I mean? The only thing that helps us really is that they're not going for an undefeated season and they're not going for a points record as well. You know what I mean? So they're not going for either.
See, that's
one
not
of those
true.
two things.
That's actually not true. We're not having a trouble playing Lavia. We're finding a way to play Reese, Lavia, and Caicedo.
We're having trouble keeping Lavia fit. We can't keep Lavia fit. That's the
Listen,
thing. That's the trouble we're having.
Mafia. There was a time we had Makelele, Mikel, freaking Essien, Ballack, Gecko,
Lampard.
fucking Lampard. Come on, bro. That's how you win trophies, bro.
Yeah, exactly. We're not. Yeah, it's a
Especially
it's a
if we're in
squad, it's a
Champions
squad
League, bro.
game.
Why are fans afraid of competition, man? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
I
It's
know. I
weird.
never understand that.
Because
weird
sometimes
thing, man.
they're scared that their favorite player gets displaced.
Bro, as long
Because
as
it's
we
all
win, I
about-
don't even care if like they benched my favorite player. I don't even have a favorite player, but
So, yeah, a lot of us don't care, but there's all these like player FC, you know, those kind of people that
yeah,
just
yeah,
care
yeah.
about specific
Stan
players.
culture, yeah.
Yeah. They just always worried about that. But for me, it's always been if you can get 2 good players in each position, and you have the backup, then you're always in a good situation, even if you got injuries.
Did I say don't love you playing in the middle away at Anfield? They must have done, right?
Yeah, I think so. Let me have a look.
Like I said, it got for Lavia got subs. I remember Lavia had a good first half. Away at Anfield.
Let me check the lineup.
While you guys are here, make sure you guys
Yeah.
hit the like button. I don't really ask for likes, but I'm going to be start doing this a lot more. Like I'm going to be streaming like this a lot more and doing these kind of streams a lot more. So just make sure you guys are hitting the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel.
Have we
And, make sure you guys- come around again. These are
not about-
going to be coming a lot more. A lot more.
It's not about Santos only playing Carabao Cup games. It's getting used to a system, a league again, and he's a young player. He doesn't automatically walk into this team because he's had a good loan spell at Strasbourg. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't happen. You know what I mean? He has to earn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same with Esteban.
Andrew, I had a look at the lineup. Yeah, you're right. Lavia and Caicedo played in midfield, and I think Lavia got substituted.
Was that one Enzo was Enzo injured? I think. Remember, did he come back from like one of the international breaks? I remember he was injured for like 1 or 2 games or something like that.
Yeah, so he came off the
know.
bench. Yeah.
I think this is a conundrum, son. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how.
Maybe it's a good conundrum. That's the problem.
It's a good conundrum, yeah.
Is it a good
It is a
conundrum?
good conundrum. It's not a bad conundrum.
Good
It's a good conundrum, but it's just
It is.
interesting.
I don't think we.
With this
I
system,
think
it
we'd
kinda makes it
be.
difficult for
I
him
think
to
if
play
we had
all
a
over
different
the
set of
time.
fixtures, we'd all be going. But I also think with a different set of fixtures, we'd all be going. Yeah, just do what you did yesterday. Caicedo right back, inverting, and start Lavia, and then when Lavia does an hour, take him off, put Caicedo back in the middle. But it's because we're going against Liverpool, Newcastle, Man United, Forest. If we were going against Southampton, Ipswich, Leicester, and Wolves, we'd all be going, yeah, just do what you did yesterday. It's all good.
On Mafia's point, again, I understand what he's saying because I actually, Joey and I actually discussed this a couple months ago with Santos. I still don't think he's set in stone going to stay here at this club. I think there is potentially we could sell him. It's not something that I want. I don't think anyone of us actually want that to happen. But would you guys be surprised if he's sold? I mean, I don't think so. But at the end of the day,
I don't believe.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're good enough, you're gonna bench the player.
Yeah, but I just feel like this: like if you're going to Bayern, bro, you're just dealing with the same thing that you're dealing with here. Like,
Well, you're not starting at Bayern.
Every
I
top
don't think
club,
you start right away at Bayern either. So
Yeah,
like,
but I don't see it. I don't see why you would sell him if you have a Lavia, but he's not necessarily always fit. Would you not take that? Would you not at least have?
No, I agree. I think
body in it?
what Mafia is saying is because he's going to have to compete with 3-4 other midfielders.
Yeah,
Like he might want like more guaranteed game time.
yeah.
You know what I'm
I know
saying?
you're
So I understand what he's saying. But at the end of the day, like look at someone like Arda Güler, right? Super talented player. Look at how many players he has to compete with around Madrid. You know what I'm saying? So every team you're gonna have this issue, bro. Musiala, when he was coming up through at Bayern, he had
It's slightly less though,
all those
Lucas. It's a
players,
bit
bro.
less. You know why? If your team is winning and stuff, your
I
players
don't know
might
why.
be slightly willing.
I wouldn't
to
say
sit on the
that.
bench and
Why
stuff
would you
like
say? I don't see how Bayern's midfield's easier to get in than to get in from us. I don't see how you could say that with the way that Lavia's injuries have been. Like, I just don't see how you can say that.
I think he's talking about
But
Kimmich
also-
because he's older and he's probably on his like last few years, and then
Yeah, but they
Pavlovic-
already have a 6 that's like set in Pavlovic.
yeah they have Pavlovic. So
And the way that Goretzka's played this year,
Also, I don't
under
understand
Company,
why.
he's not going anywhere.
But also, I don't understand why. Why it's like it's not acceptable for him to be challenged to get into the team instead of like automatically worrying. Oh, what if he does? What if he's not ready to? What if he's not ready to accept the bench role? Earn your place in the team. Earn it.
Yeah.
Earn your place in the bench.
If you think you're
First
good
of all,
enough,
I've seen how many players have we seen? How many players have we seen have a great loan spell at Chelsea that sometimes come back and they do absolutely nothing?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They do absolutely. Or we sell them and they do nothing.
I just think that I love the kid. I love the way that the kid works, but why can't he earn? Why can't we just do the whole everybody on merit? Like we have players that
earn your way.
in January, bro. Let me tell you this: if in January he only gets a few minutes and he's like in the peripheral of the squad, and we want to sell him, would anybody be upset?
No,
Not really.
similar
I
to
mean,
what
I
the,
always care about
similar
winning,
to
but
the
As long
the
as
g-
we're winning, right?
Here's
Would
the,
anybody be upset?
who's that left back we let go earlier? What's his name again?
here's the,
Uh,
here's
the,
the thing. Here's the thing, Mafia.
Oh,
You say his career.
the
You
one that
say
went
his
to
career.
Juventus.
He's 20 years old. He hasn't had a career. Santos hasn't
Andrew,
had a career.
Andrew,
Yeah.
do you guys remember
You know,
when we had Felipe Luis, who was the best fullback or one of the top 3 best fullbacks in the world when we bought him? And who
Yeah.
benched him? Azpilicueta, a right back.
That's been a
Who's
quick
competing with
cut.
Ivanovic?
Yeah, 2 years.
You know what I'm saying? Like
He
this is
forced. Yeah.
this is the standard,
He
bro.
forced
If you
Ashley
wanna-
Cole out of the club.
He pushed Ashley Cole out of the club, bro. Azpilicueta, who was a right back. So this is what I'm saying. This is the standard, bro. If you can't compete, then get the fuck out. Like we don't need you here.
Well,
is
Santos
what
is
it is.
pre-season's the Club World Cup, so we'll see, won't we? Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
He's going to play for
bro,
us in
I
the Club
just
World
think
Cup.
that
That's
I think the way that we
pre-season.
talk though, I think the way that we talk is in absolutes though, bro. Like the way that we talk is like he's going to absolutely not want to sit the bench and build his career, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
It's all ifs. It's all
It's all-
ifs. But
Joey,
he
all-
makes
it's
it
Joey,
easy
Joey,
because we're the ones in control.
But Joey,
again,
you
I
talk
understand
about
his
him like
point. It's just that. Oh, go ahead.
But Joey, we talk about him. We talk about him like he's Pedri. Do you know what I mean? We talk about him. We talk about
I
him
mean,
like he's
he
like
has the potential to
the
be a great midfielder. Let's not get it twisted.
right,
okay?
but it's
Let's
still
not get it
potential, right? It's,
Yeah,
it's still
Until you-
potential.
It's not potential.
Thing.
You know,
Let's not get it twisted, bro. He has the potential to be phenomenal.
if he comes in and he benches Enzo, then we sell Enzo.
Exactly.
It is what it is. We move
Yeah.
on. We move on. It is what it is. You know, is anyone going to
Yeah.
cry? Again,
But
half
he
the
has to-
families
he
doesn't even
has
like
to-
Enzo anyways. So, you know, I like Enzo. I think I'm a big fan. But at the end of the day, if he
But
comes
he's
in,
the
benches
reason.
Enzo,
But
we
he's
move on.
but him. I think what Chelsea fans should be noticing about the transfer targets is the lack or none at all of midfield targets because they want this guy to come in next season. Do you know what I mean? That's why we don't see a list of midfielders because we want this guy to come in next season. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole
Man
point.
City's up 1-0 already.
At the
Oh,
same time,
no.
Andrew, right? I understand that we have a log jam with midfielders. Like we have, I think Scott mentioned like 16 midfielders that we bought.
Yep.
16, bro. Like that's insane. You know what I'm saying? Like what happens to Leslie? We're probably gonna sell Leslie, right?
Yep.
Oh, he's going to be
Probably
sold.
sell-
He's going to be sold.
Like
Yeah.
the kid that we just bought
But
from like
Mafia, see,
Nice or
you
whatever.
read every report as absolutes, bro. I'm telling you that these things aren't actually. A lot of these
What
things
Napoli
aren't
midfielder?
actually true, bro. He's talking about Anguissa.
Oh, it's Stevie.
A lot of these things aren't true, bro. In the same report, right? The same report had
Really?
the agent for Osimhen was going to meet up with Manchester United, and it was debunked earlier in the day. Like literally, later in the day, it was debunked. That's what I'm saying. Don't let every report fool you, bro. Don't let every report fool you, bro.
And
Like,
I don't know if the suit will go out
actually
on
like 5 midfielders. I would actually like 5 midfielders because of the amount of competitions we're gonna be in. next
yeah,
year.
bro.
With
yeah.
Lavia's history, with Lavia's injury history,
And with Lavia's
we need 5
history,
midfielders.
yeah.
We need 5 midfielders for Lavia's.
Five is fine, bro. I don't understand
Yeah.
why people.
I
Are,
don't get it.
You know?
I don't get why the way that people are moving. I don't. I really don't. KDH needs to be sold. Seriously.
Plus, if we
yeah,
get
he's gonna be sold,
the
bro.
player that needs to be
if we
sold.
get Champions League,
And we will be
if we
able to
get
sell him, by
Champions
the way.
League or
I'm telling you
Europa,
right
if
now,
we get
there'll be a team that's getting promoted that will buy KDH from us. I promise you. Burnley.
Yeah.
Fuck.
but
Bro,
also
I
if
can even
we
see it in like a West Ham or something.
Yeah, West Ham.
You know,
one of
like-
these men will buy KDH from us.
but guys, if we get Champions League or even Europa League football, everyone remember that's 2 extra games as well. There's 8 games in the group stages for both. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So we need and Lavia's history. We need 5 midfielders.
And,
So I wouldn't
yo,
necessarily. I wouldn't
Andrew,
suggest.
it'll be 2 more games if we get fit
Yes.
because we'll have to qualify.
Yes. Yes. Would we? I don't know if we qualify. Would we have to qualify?
No, we'll have to play a qualifying game.
Oh, we do. Okay.
It's a
Really?
qualifying tie game. Yeah.
Yeah.
5th place spot will be a qualifying tie.
Bro, we can have like
Yeah, no.
6 Champions League teams from the Premier League,
Never
and
read
like
that.
the 3 from the Europa League or 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know, bro. Like, there's a ton of.
It's not up to Santos. It's up to us. We've got him on a long contract. It's up to us.
Yeah. Plus, I
It's up
think
to us.
I think we probably give him a pay bump when he comes back, anyways.
You say that when a player wants out. Look at Gurhi at Palace. He's wanted out for the last year and a bit. Price was set. No one matched it.
Fifth,
Oh, they
see, fifth makes it an extra qualifying spot, right?
Mafia also, right? You talk about Santos, bro. Esteban was gonna have to come in next season. He's gonna have to compete with Neto. He's gonna have to compete with Nani. He's gonna have to compete with like 4 other wingers or whatever. It's gonna be the same thing. Every position, bro. I think the only position where it's like we can buy someone and he comes in right away is striker, goalie, of course, but
Striker and center back. I think.
Yeah, maybe goalie. I don't know what's gonna happen with Sanchez, but
If you buy the right center back, I think the right center back comes in and starts for our team.
starts, yeah. But everything else is just like it's super competitive, bro. Like Kukurea,
No, Ray, that's actually not true.
no, it's not true. Right, it's not true.
So the way that Europa League works, it's they actually get their own spot in pot 1. So they have a spot in pot 1. They just its own separate thing as its own spot in pot 1. That doesn't happen anymore.
And that's what I'm saying. I've never read anything about it. I've never read anything about it.
Because
I think it's set
last year.
I think
It
it's
was,
set.
I think it was Spain last year, right? That had the 5th spot.
We'll find out. We'll find out if we get it.
And I'm
Because
pretty
if you
sure
pull up the table, Joey, it shows like they're all like it shows like the category of UCL. Like
yeah,
5.
I'll look at it again. I thought I might be mistaken about that. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I
It
think
was Italy.
5 is top 5 does make UCL like automatic. I don't know. I could be wrong, but
No, I think you might be right. I might be wrong. I don't mind being the one that's wrong here.
yeah, I'd have to check it. But
Okay, cool. Fifth spot. Cool. Well, that's all I was saying is 2 extra games. I thought it was 2 extra games because of qualifying. I guess it's not.
Yeah.
That's okay.
yeah.
Well, it's going to be 2 extra games anyway in the group stage.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 extra games just because. you're gonna
And
be
then
in the top
what
10
if
group.
what if we finish? If we were to get Champions League, and then what if we finish in the playoff stage? So that's another 2 extra
Not only
games.
that, though, we also have this. This Club World Cup, bro, puts a whole. It just puts a whole spin on the summer
Right.
that's totally different.
That's what like an extra 5 games.
Well, that's
7
why you
games?
keep hearing they want to do their business before it starts. That's why you keep hearing that. They
The
want to
travel,
do all
the
the
travel
deals
is
before it
also the big part, in my opinion. But at least we're not going. I think we are only staying on the East Coast. So
Bro, I'm okay with any striker coming in apart from Sesko. That's the only guy that I draw the line. Like I'm just
I can't.
that guy
Okay,
steps in here, bro.
Lucas, I'm very glad you brought that up.
Oh my god, bro. That guy
I'm
steps
very glad you brought that
I
up.
swear
So
to
the
God.
names on the list, bro, are
The lab.
no. I got you. 1 second. I was just taking a breath. The lap. I think we've talked to Hugo Ekitike, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gyökeres is on the list. Sesko's on the list, and Osimhen's on the list, right? I think that's the entire list.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing anybody?
Don't think so.
Jonathan David, I think, is the last.
Oh
one.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Now I think the way that this all ends up playing out is who wins the lap, right? Like that's how. I think first things first is like who wins the lap race
Mm-hmm.
because of the
And his
the
relegation clause is kicked in now.
Yep.
Relegation
Yep.
clause is
30
kicked
million.
right. So we should know within the next couple weeks, I think, where it goes. I think with the way that this goes, right? I think no matter what, even if we were, I think the other guys are potentially are still even on the market, like still available for us to go and get for later in the window if we wanted to. Because I do think that Nico Jackson might be available for some teams if they put the right amount of money out.
Just get that guy out of here, man. Just get him out.
I'm just we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second, okay? Because I want everybody's opinion, you know.
Yeah.
So first, right? I think the way that this works is I think the lap race, if we win it or lose it, will determine like how aggressive we are obviously for other strikers. So let's just say outside of the lap, okay? Because I do think that like it is an actual race between us and Man United. Outside of the lap, who's the guy? And is Delap good enough in your opinion? So I'm going to start with you Yasser, because I haven't actually had gotten you to actually have a conversation on all this.
Yeah.
Bro, what do you think? Like, what's your A1 option, obviously, and do you think Delap is good enough? Because obviously we're going for Delap. It's like one of
Yeah, for me personally, I have no issues with Delap. I think that obviously the way they play at Ipswich doesn't help him in terms of, you know, he's not always in the box and stuff like that for us to see all the stuff that he can do in the box. But
Yeah.
he's their only outlet. He's literally that's why he always you see him shooting from outside the box, and anytime they get like a counter attack, he tries something. So basically, he's the only outlet. And I think a lot of strikers, even big strikers, would struggle playing at Ipswich in the way they play. However, my thing is,
Let me ask
I'm
you guys:
looking-
does what striker in the Premier League does 15 goals the way that Delap did at Ipswich?
that's what I'm saying. This is where I'm coming from that angle,
What
and I'm also
striker
looking.
in the Premier League?
Okay.
You know why, Joey? You know why? I'm explain why. Because he can carry the ball, right? Every other striker they'd be in the box. Let's say for example, Haaland, right? Haaland, he would be in and around the box waiting for service.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's not going to come.
But he can also make the runs. But Haaland's not good. He's not as good technically as Delap.
Oh, he's that.
Just the thing.
Maybe
I think
Mateta.
Mateta, yeah, I think he's a very good
What
option.
striker would how many goals would Nico Jackson get at Ipswich?
Like 6, probably.
Probably less than that.
Yeah, probably like 6. Not gonna lie, bro.
Yeah, I don't think he'd
Andrew,
do.
Andrew?
You see, it
I know it's not equivalent.
depends because
I know it's not equivalent.
Yeah,
it's because people, we got to remember it's the way teams defend against other teams. Do you know what I mean? It's like they wouldn't
But
defend
that would
against
suit
Chelsea
Nico.
like they do
It
against
would actually
Ipswich.
suit Nico.
Yeah, I think he gets double figures.
he could.
Bro, he's at 10 right now, Andrew. At Chelsea.
He's
Yeah.
good, and this is the
At
thing.
Chelsea, yeah, and he hasn't
He did Ipswich,
he
bro.
didn't
Like,
score, and he was injured for 2 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
this guy did.
you know what I mean.
But
So
and going back to the
my-
Delap thing,
my
for
only
me,
thing-
I'm looking at him as a profile.
you finished.
So
you
Yasser,
finished,
Yasser,
Justin, 'cause
Yasser.
you hadn't
What
finished.
do you believe
Finish.
Delap is a different
Finish, Yasser.
profile to Nico Jackson?
I don't think it's not different.
He's
I think
physical, though. He's
they
physical.
have similar qualities, but then I think Delap has different. Like he has the height, he's stronger than him, and he's actually a striker, which will make the most difference for us if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because Jackson has a lot of good things. It's the problem is he's
Cenac,
missing
don't worry, Cenac. We're
the
gonna
main
let
thing.
Lucas get his
Oh,
moment.
no, I'm coming, bro. I'm coming.
I know Lucas is gonna get his moment. I'm gonna let him go last.
Yeah. So for me personally, in that aspect, I'm looking at him as a profile. I'm not only looking at him as Delap at Ipswich, because if you're looking at it as Delap as from Ipswich, then it's easy to turn him down and just go for the Gyökeres and go whatever. My issue with Osimhen is he might do well in terms of finishing in the box, but I think everyone will get tired of his first touch quickly. You know what I mean? Quickly, because we had a good first touch. But then if you see the ball just trampoline, we all get tired. Because then all he's good for is almost getting onto the ball and not really the rest. You know what I'm saying? So we're kind of sacrificing a bit of hold-up play for, you know what I'm saying, for the finishing. And then even if you do watch him,
Tottenham
he
went up
misses a
1-0.
lot of chances. He might be getting a lot of goals, but from a lot I've watched him, he always misses chances. And I'm not saying a lot of big strikers make chances. That's not what I'm saying.
Here's the
But
thing, right? Like, here's the thing with the missed chances with Osimhen. I'll speak on that. He misses a lot of chances because he's in the right place a lot of the time.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, you have to be in the right place to get a chance in the first place. So
Nico
You know what I mean?
Jackson had one shot yesterday, yes, sir.
yeah. I mean, I've never really defended him because I've played up front for a while when I was like a couple of years back, and you can tell by the way he takes his shots, his body positioning, like you know, all that. He just doesn't know what to do in it. So for me,
He's off.
he's off. So I understand that. Okay, he might not be the guy You know what I'm saying? It's so hard to teach someone the stuff that a striker has naturally anyway. So, you know,
Instinct.
if I can get a balance of both where we can also
I
still
mean,
get
Nico should have had a goal, a back post yesterday, bro,
that one
on the
as well,
corner. He should have had that goal. It was a tap.
yeah.
My reservations with the lap deal is like the Hoyson deal. Can't be the only striker we bring in. It just can't be just the lap, and that's
But
it.
that's why
That's,
people
and he
doing
can't.
it.
He can't.
Mateta and the lap.
He can't be. He can't
Wait.
be
Lucas, you'll
the
get your
leading.
moment, bro.
Can't be the
You
leading
get your,
striker. He can't be the leading.
you'll get your moment.
He just cannot be the leading striker. He just cannot be the leading striker. It
So Andrew, who's
It
number
doesn't
one
work.
for you, then, bro?
I would get Osimhen because of the box presence and everything like that, and we gives us options to cross into the box as well. I don't care about his first touch. I just care about his last touch in terms of getting on the end and getting in the back of the box. And also, like we said earlier, it's like I think a box presence striker like Osimhen really makes his presence felt in a good way.
You want to know
On the
something?
rest
No,
of the team, creates more space.
I do always want to go back to this just really quickly while we have this conversation. Fuck Lukaku.
Mateta's a good one. I like Mateta as
Yeah.
well.
Fuck Lukaku, bro.
Yeah.
Because if Lukaku didn't fuck around like the way that he fucked around, I think he wouldn't really be here, bro. By the way,
you're right.
By the way, it's 1-1.
1-1. It didn't look offside anyway.
He didn't look offside. I don't know how they called offsides there, right? Like at instant offside. That didn't even make sense. 1-1 though.
Hey, Liverpool won it down.
All right. So, but what do we do with Yasser then? Yasser and Andrew before I give Lucas his moment of glory.
Yeah.
Fucking. What do you guys do with Nico Jackson?
No, I think Nico Jackson. Nico Jackson, he can still be a good addition to the team, but I think if we're gonna get two strikers, then you might as well just, you know what I mean, sell him and get a bit of profit.
Yeah, I think if we get two strikers, he should be sold.
No, I'm
My
saying.
thing
All
is-
right, let's say it's all right. I'll give you the scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is actually the scenario that I hypothetically believe is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Villa come in with a $50 million for Nico Jackson. What do you guys think?
50 million.
I don't think they'd accept it. I think they'd want at least 60, 65.
Because at some point his value was high. Remember when he was scoring?
They want double. They want double what they paid for him. I think that's what they want.
Yeah. If they can get Jackson to pay, they probably would.
Or they do it where
Chat, what do you guys think?
Go up and
Aston Villa come in, they give us 50 million. I'm 50 million. I'm saying, I don't care about what the club say. I'm saying, are you taking it?
Jerry, you were on that team yesterday with that Aston Villa. How are they going to afford that with their finances? How are they going to get 50 million? How are they going to do it? How are they going to do it? Jerry, you picked the wrong club. You picked the wrong club, Jerry. How are they going to do it?
Andrew, don't do
they
that,
can't
bro.
afford anything.
Andrew, don't do that. I forgot people watch me on NAF. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Remember what I told them? I was like, all this shit you've given me all year, and now you're going to want my help? My help? Bro.
You come to me?
No. Man said Watkins. No.
Well, they're going to sell Watkins. Let's just say Watkins. They sell Watkins. I don't want Watkins.
I don't want him.
Yeah.
Chat, you guys taking 50 million? Because I think they get 50 million for Watkins. Danish Maldini. I know you're in the chat. You taking 50 million for Nico?
50 million.
I think we asked for at least 60. I think you guys are right. I think you guys are right about that.
I think they'll ask for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we asked.
I think
double what we paid for him.
Just based
This is
on
the thing with Jackson. If he,
going on right now,
but this is the thing with Jackson. If
they have the opportunity to double on that,
Yeah.
I think they would. I
And
do.
also- yeah, but also, yeah, the thing with Jackson, he provides the
Especially
other
if they
things
landed
besides
Delap. I think
playing
that
up
that
front.
would be the. I think that would be the key here. Okay, if they land
Or they-
Delap
Or they would.
and somebody comes
Or
in
they
and
would
is
put
like,
in.
but the thing about it this way, right? This is the way I see it happening. Okay, I see it happening in this manner. Chelsea get Delap. Okay, they win the Delap race. All right. So
Yeah.
somebody that doesn't get Delap, let's just say Manchester United, right, comes in and puts 50 million on Ollie Watkins and get Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
Okay. This is how I see it playing out, by the way. I actually could see this all happening exactly like this. Okay. Dracula and Monchi go out and say, who are we going to get at striker? They go and get they're the first person they're going to pull up is Nico Jackson, by the way.
Yeah.
The first person. That's going to be the first player they pull up, by the way. A, because of the links that we've already done with Villa, right?
Yeah.
But B, because they've already had Nico Jackson at Villarreal or Sevilla. Or
with Emery. Yeah, you're right.
He already had.
He had a good he had a
And
good
Monchi,
relationship with
you
Emery.
remember the fucking interview recently?
Yeah, he said that Emery taught
Did
me
he?
how whatever this and that. So he has a
I
good
don't
connection.
I think there's a reason. Yeah, sir. I think there's a reason. I think that they've recently had conversations. I think that's the reason why that
Because Jackson also knows that if he doesn't perform, they will get a striker. Like his plays will
they're
not
getting
be.
a striker regardless.
Yeah. So for
They're
him, it's
getting a
more.
striker regardless, Yasser.
Yeah.
Regardless what Nico does this year.
Yeah, this year, yeah, I get it. But I'm saying, from his perspective, from Jackson's perspective, he knew that whether he performs or doesn't, there's going to be someone coming in and his place is going to be in danger. So if he doesn't end up turning it around, there's not a way of convincing him to say I'm number one. He may have done slightly that in the beginning of the season when we thought he turned it around, but then we all found out that's a form thing. Do you know what I mean? He was on a purple patch.
Yeah, he was
a
on
long
purple.
purple patch. You know what I mean? But yeah, so yeah, at this point, it's one of them things where he's gonna either, and you can also look at it from his personality. He looks like someone that believes where he is and whatever. So if I feel like if he believes he's good enough, he might check it.
2-1. McAllister.
Rocket.
What a fucking strike, bro.
Then you can hold that. You know what I mean?
Was that 19 losses now?
About our club was dusty. He tried to tell us
Yeah,
our
be
club was dusty.
19. Yeah.
Even take Deji seriously anymore, bro. There's no reason to take Deji serious, bro.
Yeah, just banter now. You know what I mean?
There's no reason to take him seriously, bro. Yes, you have his watch along going.
Yeah, he said yes, Liverpool. He's celebrating.
He's celebrating.
Yeah.
Yo, clip
Who's
that
that?
for me, son. Clip that for me. I'm gonna use
Yeah,
that
I
later.
said that to you right now.
Yeah, clip that shit for me real quick. I'm gonna use that shit later. Oh my god. It's a great strike. I don't know what the fuck Tell is doing there, but it's a great strike. Look at this hit.
Do you know what?
Bang.
I'm on a side note. I'm slightly glad we didn't get Tell now.
Yeah. No, I me too. I was wrong about him as well. I was very wrong about him.
I don't give a damn. Let's run the rhythm. It's 2-1. It's 2-1. Shameless. Let's go.
Yeah, I was very wrong about Matthias Tell. I'm not gonna front. He's been awful. Every time I've watched him, he's been fucking awful.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a confidence thing or what. He's just scared, bro.
I told you. Let me show this shot.
No, I just think he just doesn't want to. I just don't think he was like. I think it was. You either go to Tottenham or you stay on the bench the rest of the season. Essentially, I think that's what he was told at Bayern.
I think Tell is just like
You know
one
what I
of
mean?
those.
I think that's what he was told.
He's a player in between two positions. left wing
Mhm.
striker. You don't know where his best position is.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with like 95% of strikers in this generation.
Yeah.
They're all like makeshift left wingers, cams / strikers. Like none of them can.
Yeah,
strike the
that's a good prediction, Mafia. That's actually a good prediction. I could actually see that happening.
ball. Podge. Oh my god.
Oh,
I
man.
don't know. Like, I
you-
just
you-
don't see them going for Frank, right? Like, Thomas Frank is not one I see them going for. Areola is about to get another contract, from what I'm hearing. Like, doesn't sound like he's going anywhere.
Marco Silva.
Um,
That's what they'll go for. They'll go
Marco
for
Silva would be the other one, right? That would be the other
Marco Silva. Marco Silva has no, and rightly so, because it's a short career. Marco Silva has no allegiance to anyone, bro. You know what I mean? I've
Yeah,
seen
he'll
this
move
guy
anywhere.
jump.
Yeah.
He'll jump mid-season, no problem. You know what I mean? He'll.
You
It's
guys
fine.
ever
You know what I
see
mean?
Mancini coming back to the Premier League?
No.
No.
I mean, I don't know if he'll be allowed to come back the way that he came in. Because he was being paid illegally to be working in England.
Was he? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was part of like the whole like Sister City.
Is he still at Saudi? Is that where he is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure so.
I don't know.
Mancini. I don't know. I haven't been following up with what's going on with him.
Thought he was in Italy for a while. He was Italian.
He's still in Saudi Arabia. I think he's. Yeah, I don't think he's employed right now though. It says he's not employed. So he could have left. He probably left.
I think the USA might sack Potts, so I think he has a good chance.
I hope he goes back to Spurs. I really because this
I think he gets
romanticism about.
I think he might get sacked before like this summer. Like he really only has this summer, right? Like if this summer the U.S. men's team is
This Potts guy is not the same. This Potts guy is not the same as what Spurs fans remember him as. I'm telling you, man, he's changed.
Conte will not be on the market.
Bro, he should have
Conte
won
is
something,
big.
Andrew, with that team, bro, that he had, bro. Like the defense, the midfield.
Bro, he never took the cup seriously. Never ever took the cup
That
seriously.
side, Joey, was probably the most balanced side in the Premier League for like 4 years, bro.
Who?
That Spurs side, top to bottom, from
Yeah.
like the goalkeeper position to the striker position, every position that was filled
They
up.
had good ballers everywhere.
Bro, that Son, that Ericsson, they had Dele Alli, they had Kane, they had freaking that backline Alderweireld, whatever his name is, and Trogan, right?
Yep.
They had Kyle Walker, freaking Dembele, midfielder.
He never took the cups. He never took the cup seriously, and he should have done.
Yeah, he should
have done, man.
He
Like,
probably
how
would
do
have
you
won
with that
one.
lineup, bro. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's just he's a bottler in finals, bro.
Yeah, or he just doesn't respect cups.
He's just a bottler in finals, bro. That's all.
Can I go in on a Jackson now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Lucas. I've been waiting. You've been waiting. I apologize.
That's all
I've
good,
been
that's all
watching the game. Yes. Yeah, Lucas, go for it, bro.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
So before, let me give you a runway, okay? So Lucas is a very adamant individual when it comes to our striker position. So I'm gonna let him kind of hit the floor here. But Lucas, the question is once again, would you take Liam Delap, and who's number one striker for you that you would get outside of Liam Delap or without Liam Delap?
Listen, I'm actually in agreement with Yasser. I think if we get Delap, it needs to be Delap and another striker, right?
Yeah.
I think with Delap and a Mateta, for example, and again, Mateta has like 15, 16 goals this season. Like he's not like some scrub, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a quality number 9. And I think, yeah. So I think Delap. What I see with Delap, like he's 2-footed. He's got all the attributes that you would want in a striker. And I understand people, they have questions about the box presence and, he's only got 12 goals. Bro, he plays with a bunch of farmers. Like that team is trash. And for me, when I look at a striker, bro, I look at what are the type of goals that they can score. Can they score with both feet? Can they score in the box? Can they score outside the box? That was Nico Jackson's first goal outside the box, by the way, guys. That's our number 9. That's disgrace. That's a disgrace, right? So my problem with Nico Jackson are the excuses that fans make for this guy, right? He has no weak foot. He's not good in the box. Can't head the ball. He can't strike the ball. He's not
He
a
has no
prolific
weak
goal
foot.
scorer. He's not a prolific goal scorer, right? The only thing that people love about this guy is he's a good passer of the ball and he's a good ball carrier. Oh, but he's got a very good first touch. Tammy Abraham has a good first touch.
Mhm.
This is what we are as a society now. Like, people care more about the flicks and the tricks, and they don't care about ball striking. They don't care about goal scoring. You know, people are making excuses. Oh, but he does everything else correctly. He doesn't score goals, bro. If you're a striker and you don't score, get the fuck out of this club. Like, that's what it is, bro. Morata was trash. We got rid of him. You know, freaking Lukaku was trash. We got rid of him. But this guy, everyone makes excuses for him, bro. I've been fighting the fan base for the last 8 months with Nico Jackson. And now people are finally starting to realize, yeah, this guy ain't it. This guy ain't it. You know, and shout out to Joey. At least Joey was more on my side in comparison to everyone else, because for me, like, you look at the guy and how he strikes the ball, bro. It's some side foot shit that it's just like, it's like that side foot shot, and every shot is like that. He doesn't put his foot through the ball, Joey. He's not a guy that can occupy 2 defenders. So when I look at the player, I'm just like, just get rid of him. Sell him. 40 million, 50 million, I don't care. Because I look at the attributes that he has as a striker, and nah. I don't care about link-up play. I don't care about any of that crap. The guy needs to be in the box. Because if he's in the box and he's scoring goals, then I'm happy. Everything outside of that, I don't really care, honestly. Right? It's not like we're talking about an R9. We're not talking about a Benzema here. You know, we're talking about Nico Jackson. Because Benzema, he did all the nice stuff, but he was good early, and he could strike the ball with both feet. Like, cleanly strike the ball with both feet.
Mhm.
So when people come up to me and say, oh, Nico Jackson, this, I'm like, bro, this guy's not it, man. This is a failed left winger that was moved into the 9 position. That's basically what it is. This is basically Matis Tel. He couldn't cut it at left wing. He had to be moved to striker. It's just, they're all the same, Joey. So you remember Solomon Kalou?
3-1 Liverpool.
You guys remember Kalou?
Yeah.
This is what he is, Kalou, bro. It's Kalou. It's freaking.
That's what Andrew's been saying
bro,
for years.
This is what this guy is, bro. This guy's freaking Kalou, Tammy Abraham, like.
That's literally Andrew saying, son. That's literally Andrew saying, word for
Andrew,
word,
Tammy
bar
Abraham,
for bar.
Kalou.
And
Oh my
and-
god. Go ahead.
we never got on Kalou that much because we had Drogba and Anelka there, so we never got on
Yes.
Kalou that
We had
much.
Anelka, a proper striker. We had Drogba, a proper striker. Anelka played for Madrid, guys. Anelka was one of the best strikers in the world when we bought him. You know, like, this is what I'm saying, Joey. Like, we need to, like.
It's funny that you said that, Lucas, because that's literally like Andrew's, like, whenever anybody has to speak about Nico Jackson, that's his, like, go-to move. He goes, he's just Kalou, but we don't got Drogba, we don't got Anelka. Like, that's his go-to every time.
Yeah.
Like, every time,
Yes,
bro.
yeah, it's like it's like during
It's
that time
clockwork,
with
bro.
Drogba
Like,
and
I watch my
Yeah.
homies when my homies go live. Like, but Andrew, like, if you,
Joey.
word for word, bar for bar, he's just
They're gonna say, right? He scored 14 goals last season. Guess what? Tammy Abraham scored 15 goals. And what happened the next season? He was sold. This is what it is. Like, this is what we do, bro. Like, I don't understand what people don't get. Like, this guy he has so many deficiencies as a striker. I've already mentioned it. Just go back, rewind a couple minutes. You'll find out what I think about this guy. His positioning is some of the worst I've seen in all of my time watching football. It's absolutely disgusting. This guy's always on the left wing when he should be in the box. I guarantee the last game, Joey, if you watch Jackson, he was drifting from the left, bro. I guarantee you, bro. You guys,
he's actually gotten a lot better from drifting from the left. That's part of it's not too big of my problem. He's staying more centrally more often, in my opinion. It's the fact that he's always late in the box, bro. He's just like he's like that guy who's like, bro. He's like that guy who just is like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be, and gets there just like 3 seconds, 2 seconds late, like every time, bro.
Who was it? Was it Gu when he came on once and he occupied both centre backs? Was it West Ham?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
you
he
bring
came
him
on
up
and
to
you
start
could
second?
tell that he's a striker straight away.
bro.
By his movement.
Here's hot take. If Nico Jackson stays this up next year, Mark Gu ends up outplaying him next year.
Yeah, because Mark Gui's an actual striker. Again,
No,
he's
He's
still
actually
raw,
a good
but
dude. This
he's a
kid's a good
striker.
player. Like, just not even a striker. He's a good footballer too.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Mario Gomez?
I have high hopes for this kid, bro.
It's unfortunate that he got injured because obviously when Jackson got
Oh,
injured,
bro, it is a damn shame he got
because
injured.
that would have been his opportunity to
Oh,
start playing.
it
as
would
well.
have been. Oh, I was, bro. Literally, I felt like the pain, all the pain in my heart for that kid, bro, at that time, because he was about to have the runway to take his chance to go, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
he would have dropped him easily.
Bro, it hit me so hard. He got injured in that moment, bro.
Yeah.
Because like I really felt like in that moment, if he stayed healthy throughout that game, he would have had a actual runway to do something.
That was the sickest of all ironies because that was on transfer deadline day,
Yep.
and we were talking about we need a striker, and both our strikers got injured.
Bro, I
game.
was doing a count of how many days since we got a real striker. A count.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
A day count, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, there are strikers in the market. Again, we're not scouts. We shouldn't be doing this.
Professor Rothblatt, we cursed ourselves for the way that we treated Diego Costa after year one. We fucked ourselves, bro. The way that Conte treated Diego Costa, bro. We cursed ourselves.
That's when the club, you know what the club should have done? They should have sacked Conte then, right there, and kept Costa. That's what they should have done. Should have sacked him right then.
Bro.
So said, no,
we replaced him with Morata, man. Morata. All the strikers in the world, bro. We literally
no.
Lucas. Conte wanted Lukaku. He wanted Lukaku.
That's true. I don't want Lukaku.
So, like, I'm not even going to give you that excuse. Like, that's not even.
The strikers, that they wanted Morata and we wanted Lukaku. They just went to the opposite club.
Yeah,
that's what happened. Transfer window.
And people were trying to convince me that Morata was good. But he carried the ball versus Bayern, and he made a pass to freaking.
Yeah, and Higuain that was fucking dying.
Jesus Christ, bro.
And
we got Higuain that's 6 years too late. Like when we got Falcao, he already had the ACL injuries. Like we always got strikers when they were dead, bro. Pato. Oh my god, bro.
At least Eto was actually pretty good for us.
The thing is, like, back in the day,
somebody told me this the other day. Loic Remy on this team would have 21 goals.
And he was our third striker, guys.
Someone told me this the other day, bro, and I literally lost it, bro. I was like, "You're not even wrong. You're not even wrong, bro. You're not wrong. You're literally not wrong by saying that. Like, if we had Loic Remy at this current moment, he had 20 goals for this team.
You know, it's funny with Loic Remy, right? You know, Loic Remy had the worst luck because when Costa was got suspended or injured, Loic Remy would start the next game, or he'd be injured as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he never got a start.
Dude had still 13 goals for us or some shit like that. He still had 13 goals off the bench, bro. Dude.
Yeah.
Do you guys think we can get away with 3 strikers anymore, though? Like, I think this is a more this era that we live in, guys. It's more like these guys are not patient like they used to be back in the day. Players would be okay with sitting on the bench. Now it's like, oh, we can't have 2 players in each position, like we were talking about before. I don't think players are going to be patiently waiting anymore like they used to. That's the issue. Like Loic Remy's our third striker, for fuck's sake. So.
I mean, they don't. You don't get that anymore.
You don't get that anymore. You don't get loyalty. You don't get people waiting.
There is no team with a third striker, bro. Their third striker is a makeshift winger. Most of the time in football now.
Sucks, bro. Like we had Demba Ba. We had actual.
Bro, Demba Ba would have 20+ goals in this. Bro, In this team, Demba Ba would have 20 plus goals.
You would, bro. Because 1v1 versus
I'm being
goalkeeper,
so serious, guys. I'm not even joking.
yeah, you could score goals, bro.
Bro, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, see, TKL, this is not copium, bro. We watched the ball go to Nico Jackson in the what was the game before this one? Fulham. Against Fulham, right? What happened? We had a guy, the ball fell to his feet, and he couldn't even get a shot off. 5 feet away from goal. Yeah, all right. Yeah, y'all don't remember these ballers. The
Joey,
level of
a
football
lot of
has,
people in your chat, they haven't watched
if anything, the level of football has dropped since that generation.
it. Yep. Even from like 10 years ago.
Anything, the level of football has
years ago.
dropped. You guys act like these footballers were good back then, but these footballers are good right now. These footballers
I
right
tell
now
you
are
who.
wrong.
I tell you who didn't get their fair shake, and that's Andre Schürrle didn't get his fair shake at Chelsea, man.
That's a damn fact.
He was a good.
He was two-footed too.
I still hate Mourinho for some Mata, bro. Like, fuck Mourinho, bro.
Yeah, and then
So
he
bad.
played him at Man United all the time, which
Yeah,
pissed me
fuck
off.
Mourinho, bro.
Yeah, it's like,
Fuck him, bro.
what the hell?
See, CAA Mafia, I would ask
bro.
you. CAA Mafia, I would ask you what player you would want, but you would just tell me, oh, it's probably just gonna be fucking Nunez that we get or some shit. Like that's what you would say. You'd say it's probably gonna be
Oh,
Nunez.
them man.
Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like these people act like Loic Remy was a finisher. He could finish the ball strike like no other. He understood where to be in the box. That's why he had 12 goals for us on a team that would literally was Aiden Hazard and Willian and Inshallah, unless Diego Costa wasn't finishing the ball.
Yeah, and he scored some brilliant goals for QPR the season before. He's got a banger from outside the box. I don't know how that shot even happened. His foot was so weird, the way it was. It was like sort of Matrix style goal.
Bro, and Abu Bakar, it won't even be this Liverpool. It will be a Liverpool that are on the beach after they've won a title.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
And it's not like they're chasing 100 points or anything like they did with City.
That's what I mean. There's no undefeated record. There's no 100 points total to chase.
So,
Do you know what I mean?
Ahmed told me that he wants Strand Larson. Would you guys take him?
I'd take Strand Larson, son.
Would you take him?
I'll take him.
I haven't watched enough of Wolves this season, so
I'd take Strand Larson. Strand Larson, another underrated baller. I actually agree with Ahmed on this one. I'd actually agree with Ahmed on this one. If it meant we couldn't get Mateta and you were replacing Mateta with a cheap option to be next to Delap as like a counterpunch to Delap, I would take it.
Fuck it, just get Strand Larson and
Mateta's at a perfect age, bro. He's at 28.
get a Wolf, bro.
Yeah, I know, but if you just say you can't, let's say Crystal Palace, like for instance, if Crystal Palace get Europa, there's no way Crystal Palace is selling Delap.
What's that thing mean? Yeah.
I mean,
with Mateta though, I think he only has 1 year left on his contract, Joey. So he might want to push for a move.
Yeah, you might be right. I think they extended him though.
I just hope he doesn't go to United, bro. Like if they get Delap and Mateta, like shit, man. Like they'll actually have strikers, you know. But I don't know. I don't know.
I just think we need options in the end, especially if we're gonna get Delap. Like we're gonna need another option, like regardless.
Yeah, regardless, we need another option anyway. I think
that's just my opinion. Like,
Mm.
I wonder how I haven't been watching enough Liga. I wonder how my ballers been doing.
The thing is, guys, like there aren't guaranteed like prolific 25 goal scorers.
He hasn't had a good half of the season.
Like, can you guys literally say like Yarkers is gonna come in and gonna be like this superstar?
No, he can't be injured. He's played 32 games. He can't be injured.
Like I've watched Yarkers. Like, don't get me wrong. I just think he scored like 25 penalties this season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but a lot of his goals are under transition.
Yeah, and he scored like 25 penalties or something.
He's good in the box. He's really good in the box, but it's like
he has good instinct in the box. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, but then I've seen some other games as well where he's just wobbling and wobbling, and you don't know if that you don't get that amount of time in the Prem. That's something.
Yeah, there's not enough space. That's an issue, I think.
Yeah, but I don't have an issue with his like ball striking and heading of the ball and all that stuff. I'm not really.
I just
concerned.
don't think like the thing that my problem with I have a lot of problems with Gyökeres. I'm not gonna front.
Yeah.
He has the tendency to drift off to the left a lot too. Like he has that tendency to want to be on the left wing and take people on from the left wing. I don't think his left foot is as good as people think it is. So
Yeah,
like,
he likes to drift to the left and then he drip. When he gets the ball, he tries to run towards goal.
yeah, like I don't think it's I don't think it's a very sustainable way of playing him.
Yeah.
Period.
So that's why you would go for an Osman because he likes to stay in the box.
Yeah,
more.
but that if it was I obviously for me it's Osimhen. Like for me it's always been Osimhen. Like I've been the one screaming for this guy personally. I just think that we have good enough crossers on the ball where if it was Osimhen instead of Nico on the end of some of these crosses, we would be 10 goals up, bro.
Mhm.
He'd be on 20 goals with Nico's 10.
I think he's going to Saudi, bro. Like I think every single like top reporter.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, though. Lucas, the reason I say the reason that I'm going to tell you that it's not happening. All right, so the manager for Al Hilal is the ex-manager, the ex-Benfica manager, who managed Nunez. And Liverpool are acting like they're getting a new striker because they're selling Nunez. Al Hilal is the only team in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be another. I'm going to tell. He's going to be up a paddle again. That's what's going to end up happening, Lucas. He's going to be
get
up
those
a
wages
paddle
after. You don't get big wages after 2 years anyway in Saudi. You got to wait. You got to be there for like 2 years to get the big wages. So it's not like,
bro. Like, this is where my theory just gets this. It ends up being this over. They're gonna try to play the long game again, bro. This is what's gonna end up happening. They're gonna go Liam Delap. This is my whole theory. Is they're gonna go Liam Delap, right? And they're gonna end up winning Liam Delap. So now we have a striker for the Club World Cup right now.
Yeah, and also we could find out.
There's a situation at Villa, the Ali Watkins situation. That situation is gonna develop after the Delap situation. Okay, so after Delap is the first step where Delap falls. Okay, which I end up believing we get him, bro. We have too many links to the guy. Yep. There's just too many there's too many people at our club that are close to this kid already for us to think that we're not going to get him. Okay. If there's an ex-Man City Academy player, we have the advantage to get him. Let's just put it like that. Okay. Overall. Okay. If that happens, after that, Ali Watkins, the Newcastle, there's going to be a host of clubs that I think Newcastle will be in there. I think Man U will be in there. I think a host of clubs are going to be in for Ali Watkins because I think it's going to be a reasonable price, around $50 million. Okay. Once that falls into place, I think Villa will come in for 2 strikers potentially. Try to get Nico and try to get somebody young, right? They'll try to get like a young cat, somebody real young to back up Nico, that like we just did this year. And then that leaves us the runway because it will be Napoli still fucking around with their money, trying to get 65 million for him. And no one, and he's still at fucking what's it called? Oh, I gotta turn the Knicks game on. Thank you, Mafia.
But also what might accelerate the Delap deal is if United get dumped out the Conference League. The Europa League semis by Bilbao.
Yeah,
because that means they have no Europe whatsoever.
Yep.
Next season. So you'll probably, if they do get knocked out, you'll probably see You probably
I
see.
think you have to factor in Andrew as well. It's like they already have 2 strikers, so it's like they bought
They gotta get
Hoyland
rid
for
of them,
70
didn't they?
million, and then you got what Xerxes for 35, I think.
35, yeah.
So one of them they're gonna have to sell before they bring in someone like Burke, right? I don't know if they can sell Hoyland, bro, because that guy is the worst striker in Europe. Like,
Well,
Nah,
They-
someone
they're
will
never
take a
gonna get-
chance. Someone will take a chance.
They
for
can't
him.
sell him for a profit. That's for sure. They can't sell him for a profit. That's never going to happen. So, it's one of those.
I think we got time. I think I got some time before this game starts. What time is it? Yeah, I got like 20 minutes. Yeah, I got 20 minutes.
Also, one more point, guys. I think these the SDs and the ownership group, they want a team, and it's already been reported that will grow together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my opinion. It's like they're gonna go for someone young, because again, Delap is 22, Palmer's 22, right? Everyone else is like 21, 22.
I mean, Strand Larson's pretty young too. I think he's only like 23, 24.
So they're gonna want someone. If they get in Osman, right? He's gonna be 27, high salary, and they're probably looking around like the different players that we brought in over the last 3 years. Sterling hasn't worked out. Tosin hasn't worked out. Isasi hasn't worked out. And Kunku hasn't worked out. Look at all the veteran players that they bought in.
Yeah, which is
People
why-
talk about experience, but 95% of the experienced players we bought in have been shit. So I think they're
Yeah,
probably
which
going
is
to.
why they're not going to. I don't believe they'll ever. I don't believe they are going to sign Osimhen, and they're going to.
No, I don't
already
think
seen
so.
it in
I don't
some
think
of our
so.
press about. Yeah, about.
Yeah,
why,
we
you
fucked
know.
that up. I think. I think
about
it's
the
already
wages and
done. Then we fucked that up, bro.
I think again they're probably thinking
Yeah,
about like
I think that's
experience, and I know people want experience, but every time we bring in experience, it's the experienced player that's not doing the what they should be doing.
I could show you a tweet
You know,
that Prime showed me yesterday.
Yeah,
We
I think
fucked
it's the different type of experience. Though it's like you can
Yeah.
still get experience in young players. That's the thing.
But these
You know what I
guys,
mean?
I don't trust
You
these
don't-
guys to bring in quality experience. That's the thing. I don't trust them. They've already proven that they can't do it. You know, the
No,
Sassi
which is why
Tosin,
for me the
you know,
which is why for me the oh, why new Maresca out? Well, unless you're getting everyone out, I'm not having that debate with anyone. So what's the point?
but that's why I'm not like crying over like Yildiz, Houston, these guys, because for me they're extremely talented, right? And these guys
Right.
can be world class, right? I look at their ceiling, I look at how they play football. I'm like, okay, these guys are actually
Yeah.
ballers. If you guys give me an experienced player that's just gonna come in, it's just gonna do nothing. Like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I get it. But at the same time, yeah, when you look at those kind of players, especially the younger ones, if you're gonna go for the young players, but they're the, the very talented ones, for me that's different to just getting a random young player from the jungle or something.
I agree with that. I
Like
agree
they've
with
been
that.
doing. That's when it's wrong, and that's when I feel like, okay, cool, you're bringing a player that might not
Let's say,
even
for example,
leave
if they brought
that
in like a
level to play in the
Musiala,
Prem.
right? I don't think anyone would cry. Like, you know, like a Musiala level young player type talent, like a Florian Wirtz type talent. Like, I don't think people would care about that.
Yeah, but these players. The thing is with these players is they had the runway to actually get to that level.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
No, I'm just giving
Like
an
you're
example.
never gonna find that. Like that's why like when we talk about these players, it's like Florian Wirtz and they're only this player because they got the runway to do it at the club that they're at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not like the type of talent. When you speak about talent is younger than what people realize nowadays. Because the age of a football player is just getting younger and younger now.
Yes.
Like players in their 30s are starting to get more and more non-existent.
Bro, people are looking at Mateta and saying he's old.
Oh my god.
You know what I
He
mean?
looks like an uncle, son. He's younger than me, and he looks like an uncle.
Yeah, but this is the
Why he
point. The
got
point
that
I'm making is like
Why he
back in
walk
the day,
walking
you'd have
around
players that are like
looking like a
32
porn
still
star,
playing.
son?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
got
You
that
think
porn
he's in
star
their prime?
mustache, bro. That's why people thinking Buemo's fucking 30. He's 24.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this
Yep,
is what I'm
it's the
saying.
environment.
A lot of people are
That's
looking
all
at
it
it
comes down
like
to.
the
It's the
FIFA thing, bro.
environment. I
You
mean,
guys know what I'm saying. Like,
the reason why I want a guy like Osimhen is because I think that the type of wingers that we have are creative. That the way that they create would allow an Osimhen to flourish. Even if we kept Jadon Sancho, we kept the wingers we had, and we just got Osimhen, bro. Like these two wingers would probably get around 10 assists, both of them.
That's why I keep saying with our wingers that as much as I
And
don't
it
rate
wouldn't be just
them,
to Osimhen, it would be to everybody else because everybody has like it's a gravity that a striker that's supposed to be like that is gonna bring.
You're a target, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's why I say that even though I don't rate our wingers, like they're not helped at all by not having a focal point up top.
I'll be right back, boys. I'm just gonna use the bathroom.
It's a massive hindrance to them.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because if those players were aiming at a strike and he kept scoring, and even though they weren't playing well, they kept scoring, getting GA, a lot of people wouldn't speak on certain players. You know?
That's also why I keep craving for like not just experience for the sake of experience, because
Yeah.
you know technically
experience.
Tosin is experience based on age and game time. I'm talking about the quality of experience.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
so, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what's happening. It looks like Man United will get the lap. I think the lap, if he's smart, he should go to. If Mateta leaves Palace, he should go there. I think the lap still needs to grow and learn, but if he goes to Man United,
straight into the deep
takes
end.
away.
The expectation is going to be so high for him because they're going to expect
Exactly,
him to do
but
what Hoyland couldn't. Even though he might be,
True.
obviously, he's going to be way better than Hoyland, and actually, you know, he's an actual striker.
But because he's English, maybe he'll be given more time because he's English.
Yeah, that's United. by
But
the
yeah, if the lap goes to United, that takes one of our striker options off us, which is good because
Well, do you not
like
rate them?
Osimhen's, I don't. It's not even I don't rate him. It's just that like he's not someone that we should be bringing in.
Oh, yeah.
I want quality, proven,
You
ready players.
million
Bro.
thing, man. You want to bring your
Yeah.
brethren. You want to bring
No,
your
but like you're saying he's my guy. Well, he is, but like we need someone like that, man.
No, I hear it. But you know what I'm looking at? The only reason I'm all right with the lap is because of his profile. Because you see me, I'm not doing I'm looking past the whole. I just bring me whoever's the most expensive striker just because he's done it. He's
No.
gonna do it.
Osimhen's no. Osimhen is a profile though that actually suits us.
Yes, so I think he will suit us too. I think to a certain extent, but I feel like as a footballer, the lap's better. It's just that we have more experience and more to go on when it comes to with Osimhen.
You know what's interesting? If we had signed Osimhen last season,
Yeah,
or last summer, then this summer buying the lap would make
would
sense.
have been all right. Yeah,
I'd be fine with it, bro. But it's like we're saying get rid of Nico and bring in the lap as our first choice. I know how our fan base treats like young talent that still need to develop. What if because the laps, this is his first season in the Prem. What if he goes through what Gusto did this season, where he has a bad second year? What Palmer's going through? That happens with young players, bro. Especially in the Prem, where you have a good first year and then a bad second year. And if he does that at Chelsea, this fan base will just
This
kill
is what
him,
I'm saying. Get 2 strikers, bro.
Yeah,
I know, but instead of wasting money on getting 2,
yeah, but the lap at 30 is cheap, bro. I can't lie. Like if you look at it from that aspect, the lap at 30, I think he's one of them players that in one or 2 seasons, man are gonna talk about.
I know, I agree. I don't even disagree, but it's like I don't want to make big alterations to our squad again because this summer we're going straight into that Club World Cup and we're not getting a preseason, bro. So I don't want to bring in big players to our 11 with them having to gel when we already have a Santos coming in to the team that hasn't played here, and Esteval coming in who hasn't played here. I'm assuming Paez is staying who hasn't played here. So bringing in 2 new strikers into the team, as well as potentially a new goalkeeper, potentially a new centre back. It's just alterations to the 11 again. Bro, it's just gonna be another like learning curve. Potentially a new manager. What?
Those alterations need to happen though. That's the point.
No. I agree, but why is it? I don't think 2 strikers.
Because
I don't know.
Because it can't be Jackson and Delap. It just won't work. It just not.
I agree. That's why I want
It's not gonna work.
I want Osimhen.
Right, but it can't be. But then again,
But then there's AFCON, right?
Jackson's not a
Yeah,
credible.
true. Okay.
Jackson's not a credible number 9 backup.
This is why people.
Well, no,
are saying
yeah, fair. I agree.
It's
I'm not. It's not
the
me.
second
I'm not
striker.
even defending the Jackson thing because people want to get rid of him. That's fine. But it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
another. Our fans are gonna have to realize going through another summer of like big alterations to our squad /11 with potentially a new manager as well. Like it's gonna be another bumpy season.
I'll give you a reason why it could be different, right? For example, right, a lot of these players that we're mentioning, Houston, Guehi, Mateta, Delap, what's the one thing they have in common? They're all EPL players. So like the adaptation is going to be less as
Yes,
opposed to bringing
that's the
someone.
thing. Yeah.
another
That's the
league.
thing I've always said with Delap. He's already played in the
They're
Prem,
proven. They
and he's
they-
done well in the Championship, and he's got 15 goals in this league. A lot of players that have done well in the Championship, usually it translates in the Premier
True,
League.
but a lot of
So-
these young players have a good they have a good first year and then
Yeah.
like shaky
There could be a
second.
drop off. Yeah.
And
there can
having
be.
that at Chelsea,
It's a
like,
headache.
we know what this fan base is like, bro.
Especially after
Still
this
young
season,
players,
I think
bro.
next season you don't want to have a similar season to this where your strikers are not bagging. So I hear exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about when you're saying that.
And we
Um,
know what our fan base is like and how people love to do revisionist history. Jackson will go to Villa, and then I can see him bagging like what he did earlier this season, where he's just bagging goals straight away, and people are going to be like, "Oh, we shouldn't have sold Jackson. He was only a season away. The
But
lap's
this is
not
what I'm
good."
looking at it like this. I'm saying, cool. You get the Osterman, or get me
The
get
lap
me
as well.
Basic-
Hey,
get
I
me a
agree.
Delap who's an upgrade on Jackson.
I
that's
agree,
similar
and that's
profile.
why it would have been smart to do Osimhen last year and then Delap this year, and that's why I keep talking about squad building.
But
It's
even to
poor.
be honest, as mad as it sounds, I was screaming buy Delap in January.
Yeah.
Whether
I
it was
think Delap
50
would have been
million,
mad
I
in
thought,
January. I think
say
that would
about
have been mad in
Peterson
January.
and guarantee a stop.
I think that would have been mad. But you know
Yeah.
who I would have taken in January? Kvaratskhelia. But instead we
tried-
wanted Garnacho.
yeah, I
We
wanted
tried
him
though.
to. I wanted him to.
Yeah.
But we
We
wanted
tried to get
Garnacho.
the lap
Yeah.
in January. Is it good? Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
Was that John?
We tried to get the lap in January.
Yeah, we tried. Yeah, and then, yeah. But this is what I was thinking. I was thinking, if you did that, then you can get whatever other business you want to get done, and you don't have to worry about getting a strike if it all works out, because you have that testing period between January to the summer that you were talking about, Prime, when it was like, they have that
Yeah,
one.
no, I
season
know.
where you want him to gel, whatever. But right now, yeah, we're in the position that you're talking about. To be fair, in terms of
And just poor. And all these players that we're talking about or positions that we need done, we're going to have another summer where the season window will end and we're not going to get it done. There's going to be one position that we're going to be talking about how, we need.
What Prime it needs that. It needs that. Let me give you an example, Prime. Right? Remember that that season that Man City finished 4th? I think it was Pep's first season.
Yeah.
Season, they got rid of like the entire squad, bro. Like 80%
Yep.
of the squad. Now, again, they brought in quality, and Pep is a top level manager, right?
Mm.
But they did what they needed to do. Now, again, we're still talking about the same positions: strikers, center backs, goalkeeper. It's always the same positions, right?
Mhm.
But again, the difference this time, again, a lot of the players we're mentioning are Premier League proven players.
Yeah.
Houston, Guehi. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Guehi, but again, Guehi, Houston, Delap, Mateta, right? I don't know who we're going to get out for left wing, but these are all players that have played in this league. Mateta is going to go back-to-back seasons with 16-plus goals. Okay,
True.
this is like an impressive stat.
Mateta impresses me now. Because last year, the back end of last season, when he was doing what he was doing, I was like, this is a purple patch. Let's see how good he really is. But if you're doing this again, then yeah.
Bro, I've seen the
He's
quality of goals this guy is able to score. I'm like, man, this guy's crazy, bro. Like early in the season, I saw some of the goals this guy was scoring. Like, I was like, yeah, this guy's crazy, bro. Like a proper number 9, So again, I wouldn't be opposed if we got a Mateta into the lap, because it's like, for me, between the two of them, 28, 29 goals this season, around there.
Well, Mateta is like the experienced guy, and the lap is like the young kid.
Yeah, they can grow together. Maybe, if the lap is as good as, we think he may be one day, he surpasses Mateta. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. And again, this is
people are talking about the lap. People are saying the lap is like a Kane. But what people forget about Kane is he had a lot of failed loans. And then at Spurs, he was allowed to just play and develop with no pressure. Like the lap coming to a Chelsea or a Man United at this age, Mateta is 22. No, he's
No,
not.
no, he's 27, bro. He's 27.
No way he's 22, bro. You can't be that ball at 22. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, he's 27, bro. He's 27. C-neck.
I know black don't crack, but like, don't fool me, bro.
No, that would be the exact opposite of black don't crack. That's just crazy.
Again, I don't even rate Guehi, right? But again, this is going to be an experienced center back that's going to go play alongside Houston. We got to get rid of Caldwell because this guy is just not good enough.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I don't rate Guehi, but like, if it's Guehi and Huijsen, then I guess okay.
People that could actually
Opposed to
defend,
Cole.
you were like, okay,
Cole
cool.
has to go. Cole has to go.
He
But yeah.
needs to get the hell out of this squad, bro. That guy.
Oh, African passport age. I mean, we know he's not really 27. We know he's older, but whatever. For now, we'll accept he's
Was he 33 then?
He's still performing for. He's
No, we know
performing
what he
younger
is.
than he
Hey,
thinks.
listen, I'll just say with Mateta, right? If he's really African, next year will be his last year where he will be really good, and he'll fall off year after. He'll fall off randomly, and people will be like, "He's only 29." Is he? Is he?
Yeah. To be honest, I could see Delap being like the next Harry Kane, innit?
Yeah, but again,
As mad as it
like,
sounds, I think he
I think he
Yeah.
reminds me more of like Dzeko. I don't know, Yasser, if you've seen like early Dzeko, but that's
probably
kind
not
of how he
early
reminds
Jacko.
me. Who? Was that
or
Dzeko?
like City Dzeko.
Yeah,
Yeah.
City Dzeko.
Yeah, I've seen City Jacko, yeah.
Where it's not like he kind of like runs with the ball. He's not just in the box all the time, you know. Because
Yeah,
back
he has
then,
good- He has good link up play. So
good link-up
out-
play.
Dzeko
out
back
players as
then,
well, and then-
Dzeko back then was a backup, no?
No, he played
That's-
with. They had 4 strikers, bro. They had Aguero, Dzeko, Balotelli, and they had another striker. I forgot his name, bro.
Oh, not Jovic.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Something like that. Jokovic.
Jotovic, yeah, the one that was
Jotovic,
on
something
FIFA,
like
bro.
that.
Yeah, I remember him. I think it's that Croatian guy,
Yes,
the
yes.
Croatian striker. I remember him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was like, something like that. Yeah, yeah. So they played like a 4-4-2, I think, back in the day. Was this
You hear
Mancini?
things that Maresca is not like lasting.
I don't think he's not. I just think it depends on his actions, isn't it?
I think Maresca, like, I've been saying this for a while. I think he's gone after the Club World Cup if we don't do well there. Because this whole like project and everything is like kind of geared towards that, right? We have to do well at that Club World Cup. So if we don't do well there, I think he's gone.
I think he stays, bro. I think Joey and I were talking about this earlier. I think he's gonna stay for one more season, and I think we're gonna try to go for a top level manager afterwards. Because after the World Cup, I think that's when you can see like Nagelsmann, these type of level managers. Even if we don't get them, which I don't think we'll get, but that's probably the level of manager we're gonna.
Nagelsmann, I've wanted at Chelsea for years. Bro.
Yeah, me too, bro. Me too.
Yeah. I wanted Nagelsmann after Sarri, bro.
Yeah. I wanted it like 4 years ago when he was like, what was the team that he coached before he coached
Leipzig.
Yeah, he coached Leipzig.
Yeah.
No, even
Yeah,
before
we got
he coached,
Nagelsmann.
what was the other team that he coached?
Hoffenheim.
Hoffenheim. That's it. But yeah.
If we get Nagelsmann, yeah. Hey, making the right moves finally.
And he's ruthless, bro. The guy's a maniac. We need
Yeah, he is.
dictators, bro. We need maniacs. We
But
don't. I don't want-
but maybe our fan base will accept Nagelsmann playing Reece in midfield then.
No, because he's crazy, right? He's
He
crazy.
is crazy.
He would do some shit like that too.
But
He
he
will,
will
bro.
do shit like that.
He would
but
do
he
some
wins.
shit like that.
But
But our fan base will accept it because it's Nagelsmann.
because it's Nagelsmann, bro.
Yeah.
Because
Top
he's
manager.
experienced, he won things, he's allowed to do it.
Bro, and
Our
his
fan
team
base will talk
pressed,
about
bro.
the
I
tactical
mean, he actually
shade.
hasn't won that much. Like, if you actually go,
Nah,
look
he
at it,
hasn't. But he is still a young manager, though.
Yeah. He's a hipster manager, but he's a hipster manager that I'm actually okay with because I've seen this guy, bro, like outcoach some of these like top level managers, man. At, like,
Speaking
30
about coaching, I love what Cesc is doing. He's choosing to stay at Como and continue to learn. I love that, bro. Instead of going to Leipzig.
So what's the style like Como? I watched Serie A, but I haven't really watched too much of them.
Yo,
Are they,
Nico Paz is one of the most fun players to watch in world football right now.
do they play
If you
like a
haven't watched
possession?
Nico Paz yet, Lucas, you would have
Oh, I haven't
such
seen
a
him.
good time watching him, bro. He reminds you of like old school tens. You know what I'm saying? Take
Yeah.
the ball in the half turn. I'm running at you from fucking distance.
Nico Paz is like he's
the
Real
top.
Madrid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they own him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they loaned
Yo,
him.
Nico
Bro.
Paz he's a brilliant player to watch.
Bro, Real Madrid have Nico Paz, Brahim Diaz, and Güler, and they still want to go buy Verts, bro.
I think Verts.
They want that Argentinian kid
Manchester
too.
City or-
Mansutuano or whatever his name is.
I don't think they go.
Oh, that have we've been linked to him for like 2 years, bro.
Yeah, we've heard like 1,010s though. Like,
Like, is that not the same guy we were
It's
linked
the
to
same
at the
guy,
beginning
bro.
of this project?
Yeah,
no?
Diao is
Everybody
good
wants
too,
that
but
guy.
Diao's more of like a inside forward style fucking left winger.
yeah, bro. It's crazy.
Diao's good though.
Yeah, we don't have like any like great 10s anymore. Like they're starting to get it back, but damn, bro.
They're starting to come back.
Yeah, we had guys like Silva and freaking. Ah, man, we had some top 10s back in the day.
I just
So,
remember like
Mata.
back to, like the Rui Costa days. Those were the days.
Like people talk about KDB, bro, but for me, David Silva was better, bro. He was better. I don't care, man.
Who?
Oh,
David
bro,
Silva for me was better than KDB,
bro, Juan Mata is better than KDB.
You know, stats, whatever. But David Silva for me, bro, those first few years at Man City he was crazy, man. Like the way he could control the game, the guy was genius. You know, like people were talking about Scholes and KDB, bro. Scholes, if you didn't watch Scholes, bro, like stop talking about KDB and Scholes, man. Stop, please. Scholes was insane. For me, he's
Bro,
probably
the
the best
way
player.
Yeah, what did
Bro,
what did the fam
I
call
love-
him? The ginger what? I swear, he just did the way he talks about
I
Scholes
love
is so
Scholes,
funny.
man. I love
No,
Scholes.
Scholes was crazy, bro.
Players, bro,
Scholes was
that
crazy.
you can't hate on because of how good he was when you played against
He
him.
got better with age, bro. This guy came back from retirement and won the
Bro.
league.
Played second striker for a lot of his career, bro. Like
Bro,
he-
early on, yeah. Bro, my favorite Scholes
Second
is like when
striker, bro.
my
And then-
favorite Scholes is when he sat deeper in midfield, bro, as a Regis.
Oh my god, Yaya Torre. Somebody just brought up Yaya. Oh my freak, that guy was so freaking good. Oh my god, bro, best box to box midfielder.
But then people tell me that footballers back then aren't as good as footballers now.
Still, bro, dude, Yaya Torre in this generation would score like 40 goals, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Oh, he would dominate every single midfield. Period. There isn't a midfielder in world football right now that is even close to what Yaya Toure is right now.
Yaya Torre was sick, bro. Like he was powerful. Like he could dribble, first touch, left foot, right. Like the guy was.
I'm not even in the front. Even Paul Pogba would dominate. Like early Paul Pogba right now would dominate in this type
Yeah,
of
yeah.
football.
The Juventus Paul Pogba was crazy,
Yeah.
man. Like that guy was sick. You know. But again, look at the guys he had around him, bro. Vidal and Pirlo and Marquisio and those guys. You know. And then he went to Man United and he screwed it all up. You know. That's what they do, man.
You know what,
Yeah.
Professor Rosscott? I actually agree with you. I think the average level of footballer has probably increased, but the top level of footballer has decreased.
Professor Ross Clock, crazy name. It's crazy.
I'm gonna call him that every single time too, even though I'm saying a swear word every time I say that.
You guys know how embarrassing it is that Yamal is the best footballer in the world right now? He's 17. You know how embarrassing that is?
How long has Jamal been playing? For like 3 years now, 2 years.
2 years, bro.
2 years. This will be a
And
second.
he was playing when he was 15.
Yeah, he was like 15, turning 16, and then like, yeah, he's
I
gonna
feel like he's known about Jamal forever, bro.
yeah, he has his
Nah,
not
it's
even
only
18
been
yet,
3
bro.
years, bro.
It's crazy. Did you guys watch that game yesterday, bro? Oh my
Yeah.
freaking god, bro! My god was so freaking good, man. That was a sick game, by the way.
It was a good game though.
Holy shit!
Madrid that woke up in
Bro.
the second half, bro.
Bro, I'm happy to see Morera balling out. Because I remember in
Bro.
preseason, I wanted us to keep him.
Dude,
I was
dude.
like, keep Morera and get rid of Madueke.
Why,
bro.
I thought that guy was like League 2 level. I was like, bro, this guy's
Dude,
Nah, I saw him in preseason.
about
I'm
this,
like, Morera could be the guy, bro. Keep him.
yeah,
get- let
Diego
Madueke.
Moreira has been a total flip on what I think of him since I first saw him. play
Was he
football.
left wing or right wing when he first came through? Like I don't remember. It was-
He was a winger. He could play either flank.
Left wing, yeah, he was left wing. He's been playing left wing for them too. It's not like a fullback role. Like it's the same.
Yeah,
role
it's
that
basically,
he did
yeah.
yesterday.
Bro, but the way
Big,
Strasbourg
bro.
play,
Fucking
At least
Digby,
there's
bro.
shape.
He
The
had
way
a goal
Strasbourg-
and an assist yesterday, bro.
the way
He
Strasbourg play,
Oh,
their shape is basically how we play.
yeah, it's the same exact. It's the same exact system, realistically.
Do you guys think they bring in that coach if he goes and does well at Strasbourg? Maybe makes the
I
Europa
think
League.
that's the future plan. I think that's the future plan.
Bro, I'd be down with it, bro. They play good
I
football.
think because they might get Champions League, but even if they're in Europa next year, I expect them to target that.
I actually want them
Win
to
that.
get Europa League because I think they could actually like challenge.
Win it.
Europa
Compete.
League.
Yeah, they could compete.
They
Yeah.
could compete.
They
So-
could actually compete in Europa, is my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm
Lyon-
curious.
Yo, I watched Lyon fucking compete in Europa. Like I can
Bro,
imagine this.
I'm curious what he does next year though, because with Petrovic leaving, Santos and Moreira will probably stay. But with Petrovic and Santos leaving,
They have a lot of players leaving, but they're gonna get a lot of players, bro.
Bro,
You
Mike
know?
Penders is going there, bro. That kid's cooking, man.
Mhm.
I've heard good. Like I've heard this kid's like he's been.
Yep.
I
insane.
wonder what happens to their because Santos is a big part of their midfield, bro.
I don't know if they go Oswego or if they go Leslie. They take Leslie or Oswego.
Leslie would cook, bro.
Bro.
Sitting.
Leslie's
Hey.
such a good
Like-
player, man.
It would make sense for Leslie to go over there. It would make sense for Gu to go over there. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, you as a replacement for Omega. Oh,
Hayes, bro.
Bro, we would actually kill him.
actually, Joey, you've been speaking about this Omega kid.
He's gonna get a move to a Premier League team. Watch, I'm telling you. It'll be like West Ham or fucking Newcastle, backup Newcastle. He's gonna get a Premier League move. Watch. He's
Oh,
two-footed,
bro,
bro.
he might go Villa because if Watkins goes. Villa could actually, because I know Rashford wants to go to Barca, but they might end up keeping Rashford and then getting rid of Watkins and then signing Omega as well. That
Who
would
do you
be
guys
a
think-
good.
Who do you guys think
partnership.
Barcelona go for? Because Lewandowski's probably got like one more year left. Do you think they go for Gyökeres or something like that?
I think
I
they
think-
will try and go for Gyökeres.
I think it will be Gyökeres. That's where I've thought forever that's where Gyökeres is going.
It will be Gyökeres. And Arsenal will get Sesko.
Mhm.
Bro, if they get Sesko, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
I think either Arsenal or Liverpool get Sesko.
Because Arsenal fans keep
Oh
talking
my god!
about
Almost a
Gyökeres.
back. Yoda almost hit a backheel goal.
But people have to remember the way Arteta wants to play. It doesn't suit a Gyökeres. It does suit a Sesko though, a forward who is not really a striker, can play off the flank. You know, as an inside forward, it suits a Sesko. It suits a Rashford.
It actually suits Gyökeres. That's how Gyökeres plays too.
No, I know, but like, just the build of what Gyökeres is, that he would rather go for a Sesko.
Nah,
They would want
he would be fine at the Arsenal. Let's not get it twisted. It just I don't know if it. I don't know.
I'm not saying Gyökeres wouldn't be good enough. I'm saying Arteta would rather have a Sesko.
I don't know.
The only thing with Barcelona, guys, is like I look at the last 15 years of strikers that they had, from Samuel Eto'o to Suarez to Lewandowski. They're all technically gifted strikers. Like, is Gyökeres technically gifted enough to play that role? for
Is
Barcelona?
Lewandowski technically gifted?
Yes.
He used to be like, bro,
Yes.
Iron. Lewandowski was crazy.
Is Lewandowski's not a Suarez
Not
right now.
anymore though. Like, he's not.
Not at Suarez level technically gifted, but he is technically
He's
gifted.
incredibly gifted.
Is he even Eto'o level?
No, Eto'o was crazy, bro.
Eto's a that's
It was crazy,
a
bro.
great, bro. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I
that's
know,
not
but I'm
a great
talking
player.
about but we're saying about Gyökeres not being technically gifted. I mean, like, I won't put Lewandowski in the technically gifted category. I've never put him in that category.
Again, I don't watch a lot of Gyökeres. I've only seen like highlights and maybe.
Lewandowski's being very disrespected right now. He
It's
is
not being disrespected, bro. When I think of
not
technically
an agile
gifted,
player. It doesn't mean
no,
you're not
but when I think of technically gifted strikers, I'm thinking of a Suarez, bro. I'm thinking of a Benzema, a Kane. I'm not thinking of a Lewandowski. With all due respect to Lewandowski.
I think he's right up there with those players.
He's pretty like his
His
technique,
first touch, his
touch is
passing,
insane.
like
Yeah.
his ability,
Link
his
up plays
ability
really
to
good.
hold on to the ball, like all of these things are like where I would give him his quality.
Like, do you remember Prime? Do you remember his like Dortmund days? Like, that guy
Yeah,
was
no, I
so
do.
good, bro. He was
No,
so
I do. Again, I'm not saying he's not quality.
Bro,
He is.
you don't play striker at this age this well and not be at least somewhat technically gifted.
I'm not saying I didn't say he's not technically gifted. I'm talking about on the levels
You're saying
of
he's not at the level of
Suarez as a Kane and stuff, he's
Yeah,
not.
like Suarez is one of the most.
That's my point. He's not on that level. That's my point.
Of course,
He's
it's
not-
Suarez is for me, he's the best striker of this generation, man. Like for me, he's the best striker of this generation.
I don't. Yeah, but is he? I don't think he's as technically gifted as a Kane, for example, or Benzema.
I think he's a better
I
dribbler
think
than
he's
Kane.
equal to Kane, bro.
Kane,
he?
like Kane has.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of because Kane is 2-footed.
And that again, I'm not disrespecting Lewandowski. He's cold, but I'm just saying, being technically gifted, like there's levels.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I think I think he's equal to Kane.
Yeah, again, my whole point was like, is Gyökeres gifted enough technically to play? Because again, Barcelona they play a very like.
I don't think he needs to be. I think just he needs to get on the end of these chances that Yamal can put in the box.
Facts.
Yeah, because I think like they are very like, bro. That team's so fun to watch.
I think to be honest, I think it would be a perfect fit for Hansi. That's what my opinion is. The type of energy and shit that he gives him, I think it would be a perfect fit for Flick.
I think Isaac would be perfect for Barcelona.
Yeah, but my problem with Isak realistically would be work rate comparably to the way that Flick wants to play high up the pitch. Also the Isak. I just don't even look at Isak as an option for people. Like,
Listen, for Barcelona, when they come calling, bro, these players.
Isak's the best. Isak's the perfect striker under everybody.
Yeah. Now I'm just looking back because Barcelona they have a tradition, bro. People think that Barcelona and Real Madrid they're the same. They're not, bro. Real Madrid they don't care about the style. Barcelona, you have to be like
Which is why I'm surprised that
4-1.
Which is why I'm surprised that they went for a Flick because he doesn't suit their style.
Yeah, it's very different.
It is very different, but it's better for the players that they have. The Rafinha,
true.
Whereas
a Flick kind of suits Real Madrid.
I don't think a possession-based team would be good for Yamal.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be as good for Yamal. I think this is the type of team that you want Yamal in.
You don't think Spain? You don't think Spain play possession?
No.
They changed it, bro.
Not anymore.
This manager, the Spain manager prime, like
no, it's all direct. It's all direct passing in for Spain.
Bro, Nico Williams is not freaking.
Yeah. Why do you think they use Nico Williams and it's all direct passing?
It's direct 1-2 boom.
It's all direct passing now.
You know,
it's direct passing 1-2 direct passing into the back line. They want the ball in behind.
That's why I was telling Joey, bro. I would take the Spain manager because that guy, like the way they play football, is insane. But again, I think Joey's correct. Where he's probably going to stay there for like the next 4 years or so.
4
or whatever, you know.
12,
bro. If they win the World Cup, Joey,
bro, 12 years, bro. 12 years
until
Salah late 20s, bro.
Yeah. I think he's been there for a while.
This is a great goal by Mel, bro. He just so decisive, bro. That's the thing, bro. Sometimes it's not how good you are; it's how decisive you are, bro. In this league, like he just knows I'm doing this, and I can do. If I can make this one move past the player, I'm shooting. That's it. I don't care who's in front of me. I know where the ball's gonna go. I'm shooting it hard and low, and that's gonna give me the opportunity for it to be a good goal. They're gonna be partying all night, bro.
So they've won. This wins the title, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I think with Real Madrid, Joey, I think they're going to need a massive rebuild, like more than fans realize.
Yeah.
Like fans, they blame everything on Carlos, but they have a lot of issues on that squad, bro.
I think people realize. I don't think you're very far off by saying that. I can name.
People realize like they need new fullbacks. They need at least one center back, if not maybe 2.
They probably need 3 fullbacks.
They need a creative midfielder prime, which they don't have.
No, but the thing is, they do. They just don't play them. They've got Arda Güler and Brahim Diaz. They've got creative midfielders.
Yeah, but Brahim Diaz is
more of like a winger.
That's a player I would like to take a swing on.
No, I know, yeah, but like they've got. What I mean is they have creators in there. They just need. I think, unless you're playing Diaz as your right winger. Take who?
Brahim Diaz.
I would take 3. That guy's sick, dude. That guy's a baller.
What? Brahim Diaz to play off the right?
Doesn't he play off the left?
Nah, that guy's 2-footed, bro.
Yeah, but he's left-footed though. He'd be best off the right though.
No, but he's actually 2-footed. Like he's actually 2-footed.
Yeah.
Like he's not one of these wingers that he's
'Cause
okay.
I feel like there's gonna be pieces that they're gonna want to sell.
Also, Rodrigo, he could go this summer.
Yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah.
Like a Rodrigo, they might end up selling
Bro,
Abraham
if they can
Diaz.
pull that off, I think the whole entire fan.
Oh my
base-
God.
Almost 5.
They could end up selling like Abraham Diaz or Rodrigo to fund a Verts, who I don't
think they get
Verts is
Verts.
quality, but they
I
don't.
don't think they get.
Yeah, but they
Verts.
want him.
I still don't think they get him.
You think he goes to Bayern?
I think he goes to
Yeah.
Bayern, bro. Because the reason why I think he goes to Bayern is because
I
Floyd
think City
Verts-
have a better chance than Madrid do.
because the thing is Musiala and Verts, they've proven that they can play together.
Yeah.
Even though they're both like cams, they've proven
Yeah.
that they can play. Oh, at least he's also
Wait, how?
plays right
Wait, you say that, but how well did they play together at Germany?
bro, they don't have a striker, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues with that German squad, bro. Like there's a lot
Well,
of
you think why it doesn't work with them together is because of the striker?
bro, if you don't have a
No, it
striker,
works
like,
with them too, but the striker's the problem.
there's so many issues, bro, with that.
Because didn't Nagelsmann at the last tournament drop Verts?
No,
No, I don't think so.
no, they both played
They
together.
actually played together, both. He tried a few formations. Again,
Yeah.
Neuer is aging. There's a lot of issues with that German squad. They have
Yeah,
to
the
rebuild
German
that
squad,
squad.
the
Rudiger's
German
32.
defense is pathetic outside of Schlotterbeck.
Yeah, Rudiger's 32. He's aging, bro. Like, there's a lot of issues with that squad, bro.
Like not the pathetic, but with it's Rudiger, Schlotterbeck, and then they always have one oddball because they play 3.
Yeah, I don't rate Todd, bro. I don't think he's as good as people.
Taz.
Nah, all right.
Nah. Yeah. So for me, like again, I could see him Florian Wirtz go play with Musiala.
I could see Todd going to like La Liga.
Could you guys imagine Musiala,
it's-
Wirtz, and oh my god,
If Verts goes to Bayern, that means they're gonna sell like a Sane or a Coleman or a Tel.
I don't
so
want
at
any of
least
those
one.
guys, bro. They're all.
Well, Tell's definitely gone.
No, I know you don't, but like Arsenal could
Oh
maybe
my,
Arsenal would get Sane
oh my god, bro.
as
Don't get
a
me
sac-
wrong. Sane was crazy good in like when he was at Man City.
Well, I mean,
After
it's
that,
not out of the question. I think Sane and Arteta work together.
is he like 30 now? Like how old is Sane? Like
Yeah,
I
he's
feel like
like
Sane's been around
28,
forever,
29,
bro.
yeah.
Jesus Christ. He was sick when he was at Man City, man.
So sick, bro. He was one of my
so
favorite
good,
players
bro.
to watch, bro.
Like Sterling was like whatever, but
So fire. Sane was. I actually enjoyed watching Sane.
I got-
Sane and Mahrez, bro. Those were the 2.
he had the blend of pace and technically gifted.
Yeah,
You know, not like these pace versions that we have now. Like
I think there was
Bro,
even more than the pace. I
bro.
think it was the technical ability, the power, and the pace. Like he had
Bro,
all-
Sane, that is a quality young player, bro. When he was at City, that's a
He was
quality.
so direct. He was just.
Yeah, I think Bayern they're not far off from like winning the Champions League. I think maybe they get a center back. They have to replace
Oh.
Neuer.
Oh my god, hat trick!
Own goal.
Offside.
They have to replace Neuer, bro. That guy can't keep playing.
5.
Bro, they
Five!
bought young. That
5.
counts, yeah.
I need that clip.
Oh,
son.
I have it.
Send me that clip, son.
It should be on my
Put it
Twitter
real
actually.
quick. Do the 5 clip. I need that shit so bad right now.
I'll find it and I'll send it.
Yeah, that's an amazing clip from Lewis. I mean, we lost that game, but it was a fucking amazing clip. It's just,
Could be.
oh my god! All right. Yeah, but there's no wingers that are like Sane now, bro. I would love a winger like
Not even one, bro.
I would love a winger like Sane right
Bro, there's no wingers like Pedro anymore.
now.
And think about it, Pedro was
You
like
know, but
very good.
there's some wingers that I really, really like watching. Though, not gonna lie, but they all play on the right. Is my problem.
Sorry. I got a quick side note. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, what do you think of this Gittins guy?
I'm not a fan, bro. That's just me personally, though. I think, he's
I
a radical,
think, bro. Here's the thing: is I think that he has better ball striking than any of our wingers right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh.
my opinion. I think he's is a rat. I think that Lucas is not wrong about his erraticness. I can't disagree. I can't argue it. I literally can't argue it, right? But I think he has better ball striking than any of our wingers.
Yeah, same.
That's really where it comes. What it comes
Ahmed
down
thinks
to.
we're gonna get Giddens and Yildiz, bro. He thinks we're gonna get both. I don't know.
Who?
Ahmed thinks we're gonna get Yildiz and Giddens. I don't know about that, but
Yeah, I mean, he has a point that it could happen because of
like
the way that.
if we don't activate
Because
D'Angelo,
because I have this, bro. I think everybody who's friends with me kind of has taken the idea of where what I've taken of this is NBA. This is an NBA team now. We doing trades, that's. I think that people have kind of like caught on to it, right? Like these loans that we've put out on some of these players like Carney and Vega. These guys aren't coming back. I just think that's the case. I think people who watch my channel, people who watch me on Ahmed's channel, people who watch me on Carefree Lewis's channel, I think they're starting to get the gist of this. But Lucas, since I've been doing this, since you've known me pretty much, I've been saying this, right or no?
Yeah.
So I think people are starting to get the gist of it now, like that. I think
You know, it's like Joey. It's like if I was trying to sell you my car, yeah, but I know you're interested, but not really interested. So I just give it to you. I give you the keys and say, you know what, drive it for a bit. You know, if I know you're gonna like it, I know, he's gonna just send me the money. It will just
exactly.
I'll let him try it first. So you just send
I mean, realistically, that's partly what it's. Cars is actually the best way of describing it, of like trading in cars in and out. Except the values of cars just decrease, so you can't really like put it specifically like in that manner, right?
Yeah.
But you do trade cars up. You trade in your car to upgrade your car most of the time, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You trade it in for something different. You know what I mean? Like,
We just send
at
you
least
the
in America, right? Like, you can trade your car and go get an SUV or a truck.
Yeah, I
You know
used to
what I'm
see on TikTok all the time, bro. They pull up in like a 2005 car and just trying to get an M3 or
Just
something,
getting
you know?
a new one. You know, we're trying to get something new.
Joey, after
The car he's trading in is only worth like 2-3 grand, yeah, but he's trying to get a 100 grand car.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to ask a question on Leon.
I don't know if we're doing that because I do think Carney and Vega actually have some decent value. Especially the Carney for Gittins. Like, I don't think it would cost us anything. Like literally nothing. It would be just Carney for Gittins. Like, just because of like the way it ends up working out, like the loan fees and then fees and then what they would end up paying at the end, it would end up just being like Carney for Gittins. Like it would literally just be that. So, or maybe like 5-10 million in between, something like that. But yeah, like this is. I think people are starting to catch on. Like I've been saying this for a very long time that the way that this model, only way this model realistically works, if you're gonna hoard, is the best way of I can describe it. Hoard players without multiple teams. Like I think you need either would need another team, which I still think is on the cards very soon. Like within the next 2 years, I think that there will be another team, more than likely from Portugal, is my guess. Okay, that we would end up buying. Okay. After that, right? After we would get the team, we would be able to like take these talents and just instead of buying them for our club, you buy them for those clubs, and then have a loan group like you have currently. You know what I'm saying? A group of players you just send out on loans. Yeah, like that's pretty much what I think is like the future of it, right? Of future of football for our team is going to be, it's going to be very trade oriented and like you said, Yasser, hey, test drive this car for the next 6 months. Give me a fifth of it's. You're basically renting it, okay? But test drive it for the next 6 months. Okay, give me some money for it. Test drive it for 6 months. You like it? Keep it. Just give me the money at the end. That's what we're doing with a lot of these.
They keep doing it. This is why they're hoarding it.
And you know what? On top of it, I'll take one of your cars on top of it, so you don't even have to spend that much money.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what it is as well.
see how
If, you
that
look
line-
at- if,
you see
if
how it
let's
works?
say a club like Arsenal was holding, and let's say we were Arsenal fans, we'd be worried because Arsenal doesn't know how to sell well compared to us. We can sell anything. So if we hold players, I'm not as worried because I know that no matter what, we will try to get as much. We'll get
No,
the
but
best business
that's
done
the
most
best.
of the
I think that's the one thing that they proved to us so far is if it comes down to it,
the selling bit hasn't changed from when
Yeah,
like the
the
Roman
selling
era,
part
whatever.
is
That's the bit where it's
not
just
a
the sell.
problem.
I think the Havertz
I
and
think it's
Mount
actually
and
probably
stuff like
gotten
that.
better, to be honest, because I
Yeah.
think Marina would do a little bit too much haggling sometimes.
Mm.
Yeah, she held on to players way too long, bro.
Yep.
Way too long. I have a question, Joey, on Leon. Like, are they getting relegated? What's the deal with them? Like, I heard early in the season there was like something.
You know, I'm gonna look that up because I know that there was
Who
a.
owns them? Is it the Texter guy? It's
Yeah, because the reason I
Texter,
say that
whatever
is
his name is. Who
they have
owns
a
them?
kid called Malik Fofana, bro. Like, that's actually a kid that I'd be okay with us getting.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
lie. He cooked against United.
That kid's
that's
good,
the
bro.
thing.
Like that
Yeah,
kid's
yeah,
actually, and
that's
he's
the thing.
fast, so he's gonna appease the pace merchants, like the fans that actually like these very fast wingers. But he also he's composed. He's a good crosser of the ball. Can strike the ball really well, from what I've seen. So, and I don't think he would be that expensive. He's only like 19, 20, I think. For me, he's better than Giddens. Like from what I see.
Oh, Joey, I send it into the group chat.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of talking, and I only.
Or did you say you personally want the clip?
No. I'll play it right now. I didn't realize. This fucking clip, bro. Yeah, this clip every single time, Prime. It makes me laugh. The way that you clip this up, bro, is amazing.
Not one, not two, not three, not four. How many times?
That was funny. You didn't even need to hear Lewis say it. You knew what game it was, so that was just the answer straight away. I was like, yeah.
As bad as that clip is amazing every time, son. Yo, I actually need that clip just saved. I gotta pull it off of here and
Yeah, save it onto the StreamYard or something.
I'd save it on StreamYard. That shit is amazing. It's a 5. Yo, I gotta switch this game 1 second. I forgot. That's what I keep on forgetting to do.
Man, bro, I can't believe they're losing 5-1, man. I think if Ange can pull off the Europa League win, man.
Yeah, and then
I
just
think
dip.
it's
17th,
And then dip, bro. You know how fucking glorious that would be?
that'd be
For
the
him to
funniest
just
shit ever, bro.
Get the Champions, get the Europa League, and then dip.
Yeah,
Yeah, they qualify for the Champions League and finish 17th. That'd be the funniest thing ever, man.
Is this game still 1-0?
2-0. So
2-0?
Rivaldo.
Yeah, Man City's gonna win this, man. Let's be honest. There's no way Palace can win this. I don't think so.
Palace, come on, man.
It's the hope that kills me, Joey.
Come on, man. It actually really doesn't matter if Palace wins it or not for us. I just would like to see Adam Morgan and Co to win it, bro. I've been watching that football team all year. Not even about the front.
Which do you?
I love Adam Morgan, and I've been telling you guys all year, Ismaili Sarr is mad underrated.
Yeah, remember he was good at his time. I remember him at his time at Watford.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember him.
He was good at there. He was.
He was young though back then, bro. He
You
was
think
young,
that this was an
raw.
upgrade, and he do really well, but he's kind of been on and off, in my opinion, for Palace, isn't it? He hasn't really hit the heights yet. But then again, I think Mateta's taken most of the time. Him and Eze.
Bro,
I think Ismaili Sarr has been fantastic for him in the games that I've watched him.
Well, where does that Wharton guy play? Is he a DM or was he
He's a
not
good
a
DM.
name?
Honestly, he's the best English midfielder that England. He's the best midfielder that England has.
Yeah.
Like actual, if you're talking about like just midfielder, like what we're talking about, a passer, somebody who knows how to control the pace of the game. Like he's one of the like good on the
his rate
half,
of pass is so sick.
decent defender. He's the
Yeah.
closest thing that England have to Michael Carrick. The closest thing that they've had to Michael Carrick since Michael Carrick.
Yeah, he's
And Carrick is one of the most underrated footballers in that England's ever had, in my opinion.
for sure.
So, like, he's the one that, in my opinion, if Tuchel's gonna want to do something, he's gonna have to play Jude in a more advanced area, and he's gonna have to play a pivot of Wart and Rice. If he plays a pivot,
or you don't play Jude at all, mate. You know?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
you don't play Jude at
I
all.
mean, don't get it twisted. Bellaini is Bellaini,
Belaney or Jude Longstaff.
Yeah, Bellaini.
It's good that people are like noticing that guy's trash, man. I've always said this.
I mean, I've never really had like I feel like you had to build a team around him for him to be successful.
Well, he's a box crasher.
No, I think it was when they put. Remember when he first.
I
got
never
into
really
the
thought of
England
him
team.
of a player that can fit in the system, and he has to be more of the system for it to be successful.
Yeah, but I remember he was in when we. I
I don't
remember
think
when
he's
he
a bad
first went to
player.
the England team.
I don't think he's that great of a.
When he
The thing
first
is,
got
Joey,
into the
if you
England
can't
team,
control a game as a midfielder, then nah.
you know what it is though. He was more of he played in
I
the.
mean,
job
I
of
do
pivot with
appreciate
Rice.
the qualities though, like the box crashing qualities are good. If you played a 3, if you played a 4-3-3, then I think Jude would be a quality player. I think you could get a lot out of Jude. But if you're playing any other formation that doesn't play a 3 midfield, I just don't think of him as this.
Do you know why he worked last season at Real Madrid? It's because they played
Because they didn't have a striker.
They played a 4-4-2 diamond with him literally the cam that ran to become basically a box crasher.
Yeah.
Rodrigo's on the right.
Because they didn't play with the striker. Literally.
Yeah.
They played him as like a false 9 almost.
Yeah. And like the wingers were basically like forwards.
And not only that, a false 9 that can go back and defend.
Yeah. But he had
You
three
see how
midfielders
that
behind him.
works?
He had 3 midfielders behind him. Because Carlo
And
knows that this guy,
it gave Rodrigo and Vinny unlimited amount of space to work.
and that's why this year it's not working, bro. Because
Because
Mbappe
you put fucking Mbappe in that middle space, right? There's nobody has the space anymore. That's why, in my opinion, you have to play like you need a right winger if you're gonna play Mbappe down the middle, right? Like the way that this would work, the way it would work is you have to play Mbappe down the middle, right?
Mhm.
If you're forcing yourself to play Mbappe down the middle, okay, you would have to probably have Vinny go play right wing, so he's not cutting inside all the time. Like you'd have to force him to be on his strong foot to go towards the byline, and you'd have to get a left winger that is left foot dominant. They have too many right foot dominant players, so like they would have to get a left foot dominant player, right, to play left wing and have it be wide, have them keep the width. That way, you would play 4-3-3 with 2 box to box with Valverde and Jude playing in those half spaces. You would need Zubamendi probably as your 6 to be able to pull it off, probably, just because he could at least dictate play, and it wouldn't be so physically taxing overall. But like a player like Zubamendi, a player like Enzo Fernandez,
if they had Vitinha, bro.
Vitinha would be actually perfect. Like that would actually be the perfect player.
Yeah, that would actually fix
that. Would actually be the perfect player. Like you're perfect profile. But yeah, if you did it in that manner, and then you rebuild the fullbacks, where with Trent, it kind of makes it a little disjointed regardless, just because of how he is defensively. But you would have enough creators with like a Vitinha and Trent back there. You know what I'm saying? And you'd have enough like midfield power and coverage defensively with Valverde and Jude going box to box with like a defensive fullback like a Hincapié, right? Like if they got Hincapié to play left fullback, right? And then go into a 3 with Trent having more of like a roaming option to be able to kind of go and then have a back 3, it would end up being more like us, like the way that we play. But that's the only way you would be able to stretch the pitch and play with Mbappe. Like that's the only way with the players that they have, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. I think that right now they're too right-footed, where our team is too left-footed.
Yep, agreed. 100%.
That's the issue.
100%. 100%, bro.
They don't have a striker. We don't have a striker.
But we don't have the clinical finishers that they have.
No,
you know?
we don't. And we don't have a goalkeeper like they do.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of.
I mean, shit. Courtois was shit yesterday, bro. Courtois was awful yesterday.
That's a one-off, though. Courtois is.
Is it the Rice wall that he did twice?
Bro, that fucking free kick was crazy, though.
Yeah, I know, but he made the wall. He forced him in that spot. You know that, right?
Because I think it was the second goal was the first goal. I think the second goal was even better, right?
No, 100% the second goal is better.
Bro,
he forced him into that spot. Like where
I was like,
and then he did it again. Like, come on.
There's no way this guy could.
Like, fantastic precision by Rice, right? Like the precision.
I don't even rate Rice, but goddamn, that shit was crazy, bro. That free kick.
The precision from Rice is amazing.
Oh my goodness, bro.
I've said it before, yeah. I obviously rate him for both the free kicks. I think the second one was better than the first one.
Yeah.
Because if you've played football, you know the first one, you basically get the goalkeepers invited him to take it the way he took it. Yep. All you have to do is make sure that he gets it as close as possible, as in to the wall, but not actually hit that right side of his side of that wall, and then the ball keep curving towards the goal anyway. Do you know what I mean? The goalkeeper might not be able to see it for a few seconds. If he hits it hard enough, it's on target. Do you know what I mean? It's not as difficult as it's just the TV angle made it look like he curved it around the wall. But when you actually see it from behind, you can just tell that it was literally open for him to take it from there.
See, I disagree with this, Rasclot. I just think that in the way that we played, and even a lot of the reasons why we've lost, even recently, the last game, we've controlled that game in this last game. We just don't have we are not clinical, bro. We are one of the least clinical teams in Europe, in my opinion. Like, and with especially with Palmer not being clinical, like it makes us even worse. Like it just makes us worse, bro. Like that's just what it comes down to, in my opinion. It's like bro, if you look, I don't like using stats, but there's certain things that stats can tell you. Like if you look at the amount of things that if you look at the amount of chances that we create in an overall sense for, like, even if they're not big chances, but just the chances. And like, I don't like using XG, but this is a really good way to use XG. Is just the overall amount of chances that are being created with XG. Like is a way to use it, right? Like I like the plus minus. Like you make some, you miss some. Even though the whole XG stat is skewed, we are just not clinical enough, bro. We're just not clinical enough. We have such a low XG. It's crazy because we don't finish our chances at all. It's crazy. We are just we had the lowest shot conversion rate in the entire Premier League. That's including the relegation sides of Southampton and Leicester and Ipswich. Yeah, to me, it has nothing to do with any. And here's the thing: you put the game away if you put the game away at 2-0, the game opens up, and now we have what we want: space.
You know my problem with Maresca's system, Joey? Like, you know how Pep, like the way he coaches, like the way they play. Again, I don't like his style, but what Pep does really well, all his teams do, and he's done it for years, bro. All of his teams, Joey, the cutback crosses where KDB or like someone will drag the ball all the way down, the line, and they'll do like a cutback cross into like the box, and someone will be there. They'll make the run. You'll find the guy in the box, and you'll score.
My problem is, I think the issue with that though specifically is like the positions that the crossing that we do.
It's all high crosses, bro.
It's all high crossing.
I want lower crossing.
I've had an issue with that all season.
That's what I'm saying though, because
that's been my biggest issue with the way that we play all season, bro.
Like if we don't have the height, do cutback crosses. Have players overload the box. 2-3 players get them in the box, make the cutback cross. Because Neto, these guys can actually do that. Even Madueke can do that. Like and right now we keep doing these like high crosses. Like to who, bro? Not a single player can head the ball in this team. Other than Cucurella. He's like 5'9".
My guy Cucurella, bro.
He's the only one I trust with the ball, bro. The only one, man.
Only one you trust in the box.
Oh my freaking god! Like even Enzo, sometimes he'll make the run. He'll make like a good header, shit. But god damn. So like that's my problem. Like this team, like the way they play, they don't do like cutback crosses. It's all high crosses.
Doku has to be one of the most annoying players to watch, bro.
He's terrible. He's so bad, man.
You want to know why he's annoying? It's kind of the same thing with Madueke. Like he gets by his man, and then it's just like, yo, for real. You know what I'm saying?
It's all pace and power, bro.
That's what I mean. Bro.
Okay, what are you gonna do with the ball? And then does nothing. This is what it is, bro.
I'm not gonna speak on that man just because he doesn't deserve any platform for anything. But if he went to PSG, they would actually be great. They would make him better. He would make them better, actually.
You guys remember Adama Traore? Like when he first came out, everyone was like, "Oh, Adama Traore." 98 pace
power. Pace and power is a hell of a drug.
Bro, that guy was fast, and he was like explosive, and people were like, "Oh, this guy's." It's like, dude, this is not a Barcelona player, man. This guy's like 300 pounds.
All right. So I think I'm going to end it here. Most of the games are over. So I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your Sunday. I'm going to go watch some basketball. Hopefully my Knicks make this 3-1. As everyone knows, we'll be back later this week. I'm going to try to be doing these streams at least. I'm going to be trying to do more streams at least 2 or 3 times a week more. Okay, like that's my goal for myself is to get live at least 2 or 3 times a week more. So you'll see me more, and you'll see everybody else more here because I always have panels. So hope to speak with you guys soon. Take care.
Pick up.